sometimes guys and girls forget that the opposite sex likes sex and they want to have it with you possibly if you make a move. But if you try, if you make that first move, you try, at least you planted a seed in their head. Trying and failing at least communicates to them that you're interested. Because down the line, you know what? They might just be sitting around one night. They want a booty call. They might call you over.
I really see this in the opposite terms.
How's that?
If you make any kind of overture, sexual overture, or even like a romantic one, someone treats you as a friend, you should know the difference pretty clearly, whether they're being friendly or whether they want to be intimate.
Right.
If they reject that, then I'm out. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, you're not sexually interested at all. Like, whatever, see you, have a nice life.
Right.
But if you don't try, like, I think you can go a long time with a woman without trying. And still something sexual will develop.
No way, man. If you go a long time with a woman, like, it can happen. I'm not saying it's outside the realm of possibility. Like, sometimes one of my good friends is dating their high school sweetheart, and they said in high school they never had anything romantic, and then they reconnected years later, and it became a thing, right? That can happen, but it's exceedingly rare. If you meet somebody and you're interested in them, I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you nice guys, right, who respect the woman too much to have sex with her. Right.
Oh.
You guys.
Oh, dear.
You guys.
Is that a thing?
Oh, it's a thing. It's the nice guy syndrome. That's what this boils down to. These are nice guys who don't want to have sex because they're in it for their friendship, and they're in it for they don't want to mislead the woman into thinking that they're only in it for sex, because most guys are in it for sex and they're different. You know how I know so much about this, Dick? I used to be one of these guys.
I used to be a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm still a nice guy. But I'm a nice guy who has sex.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you not think that women enjoyed sex as much as they do?
It's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question, Sean. I'm gonna think about that for a second. But I will tell you what I viewed sex as. I viewed sex as something that all guys wanted all the time, and that's all they wanted from women. And I wanted to draw a distinction between myself and those men.
So that was your value.
Yeah.
That was the value you were saying you provide.
Yeah.
You're there for, like, listening and shit.
And by the way, when we're saying nice guy here, let's just for going forward, it's nice guy in quotes. We're not talking about literally like nice guy. I'm a nice guy. You're a nice guy. Sean's a nice guy. We're all nice guys. But I'm talking about the quote nice guy, the guy who becomes a friend with a woman, but is insincere,
right,
and is manipulative,
right,
and would swoop in at the opportunity and writes those like weepy comics talking about how the girl always confides in him. Oh, why aren't there nice guys? And he secretly thinks, well, I'm a nice guy. Why don't you date me?
I've never heard a girl say, how come guys can't be like you? Like, I've seen them tell that story. Like, a hot girl I've always been interested in told me, how come guys can't be like you? But I've never heard a woman say that out loud.
Yeah.
It's like a pussy's version of a porno. Like, you watch a porno and I'm like, this never happened.
Yeah.
Like, no guy walked into a sorority house and he's getting 6 blowjobs.
Yeah.
Right? That's like how I feel. It's like, what woman ever said that to you? I don't think she meant it. Maybe her tone was being, like, sarcastic or something, but I don't think that they think that.
Oh, it's happened, man. It happened to me when I was younger. When I was, I think, like 16, 17 years old, when I first started taking interest in women and wanting to date them, whatever. I became the quote nice guy, and we would hang out a bunch. And I always thought, I remember like women would confide in me to that level, like talking to me about their dates and stuff. And these are women that I was interested in. But the problem was,
and you would listen to it.
Yeah, I would listen
thinking
to it.
that it would establish a bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it did, but that bond was only friendship.
Yeah. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
You had more. Tell more. I'll say this after.
Okay. So that bond that I was creating was friendship. And back in the back of my mind, anytime they complain about men and how awful men were, blah blah blah, I thought, well, why couldn't that be me? And then but that has changed radically. I don't hear that anymore. But what did you want to say?
I wanted to say that women, I think, because I get what you're saying now, that guys will try to get close with women by just listening to them talk about, like, whatever shit they were doing.
Yeah.
Like the emotions that are on their mind.
Right.
And my thinking is that I'm just trying to unpack right now. Women share their feelings compulsively. Like, I think that these friend zone pussies that you're talking about assign some kind of, like, special meaning to the confidence that a woman that they're into is sharing with them. Like, I'm telling you about this thing. She's telling them about this thing, this trial that she had. not what women are like. Like, guys are like that. I'm not going to sit down with a guy and tell him something hard that I'm going through. It's just getting better. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I'm not like sitting down with a guy. But women aren't like that. Women are compulsively share with everyone. Even when, you don't want to. They're talking to drive-through boxes out there. It's what they're doing with, you know?
The thing that changes, the thing that shifted, and this is the problem with all these friend zone pussies, all right, the guys who don't get it, is that they need to communicate to those women that they are interested in them sexually. That's everything in the world. Everything in the world comes down to that.
Do you really think that?
That's absolutely it. And I remember the moment I realized this, right? I went through this spell when I was single for about a year and a half, 2 years. I went on dates and stuff, hooked up here and there, but it wasn't really, I didn't feel like I was dating anyone because all these girls I was hanging out with were just that, girls I was hanging out with. We weren't having sex. We were just going to parties together and doing like datey things and stuff like that. And
But not banging.
No, very rarely banging. Then I remember this is the moment that shifted for me. I went out on a date with this girl who, man, I hit it off so hard in this bar. I remember my friends came over. This girl is like a babe, total babe, right? Really cute smile. Just we were hitting it off. And my friends came into this bar and saw me alone with this girl, and they were running patterns, wingman patterns, like helping me out, like coming over.
God.
It was great.
It was good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they helped out because there was one cock blocker who came through, and one of my friends came in and like tackled him. It was awesome. So I thought, okay, well, I don't want to blow it with this girl. She's so cute, she's so cool. We're totally hitting up.
What are we talking about here? What'd she look like?
She looked like Drew Barrymore in her prime.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
A little bit of like a smush face, a little bit chubby, but she
No,
hides
no.
it with the.
When
You
Drew
mean like an
Barrymore?
ET?
26.
Yeah, there you go. Like when she was in ET. No, man. When like imagine Drew Barrymore. Like I think Drew Barrymore has a cute smile. So it's like Drew Barrymore's smile, and then like a really nice like petite body. It was
Okay,
she was
all
a
right.
babe, man.
All
She was a babe.
right.
So anyway, man, I finally got the balls that night to simply communicate something about her looks, which I realized is something I had never done before.
Like with a woman.
With any of the any of these girls that I had been dating. With girls after I started dating them, then I would communicate that they looked good and they were
no shit.
yeah.
Oh wow.
See, Jake, the reason you've never heard some of these like friend zone terms
Because I start with that.
because you start with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Guys, the difference between a friend zone pussy and a guy who gets laid. And by the way, guys, it doesn't just have to be you getting laid. You might want a relationship. That's fine. All of this stems from sexual attraction. And if you don't communicate that to them, then they don't know. And they're guessing just like you. And if you're that dud guy who's hanging around all the time, who never communicates that to them, they're going to think you're a friend. Because, of course, why wouldn't they?
Can I tell you this? I think those friend zone pussies take it especially hard because they do want a relationship. Like they've turned this woman, they've built this character for this woman that they think she is,
right?
And they want to marry her. It's not actually her,
no,
of course.
It's not.
It's a fantasy.
It's a fantasy.
But they want the relationship so bad that they get out of control, insanely jealous.
And that's when you become a stalker. And that's when you become a creep. And that's when you start thinking about these people to the point where it's unhealthy. Let me give you an example of this happening with a woman. A woman friend of mine came up to me one time, and she told me about this guy she was crushing on. And I already communicated to this girl that I had no interest in her sexually, right? So then
How did you communicate this?
I told her I had a girlfriend.
Smart.
So that shut it down pretty quick.
Very efficient.
Because I could tell there might have been a little something. I said, I'm going to shut this. I'm going to nip this in the bud. I have a girlfriend at the time, and I nipped it in the bud. So then she felt comfortable confiding in me because we were just friends, and that's all we were, and that's all I wanted. That's all she wanted. Great. No miscommunication. Awesome. We are in alignment. So then she started telling me about this guy she was interested in. I said, okay, well, what's going on? She goes, well, he's really funny. He's a great dude.
Oh, God.
He's really popular. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, so shoot him. Do you have his phone number? He goes, no. God. She goes, no, I don't know what to say to him. I said, okay, show me his Facebook profile. So she pulls it up. I said, I got it. Bingo. I know what to say to him.
Oh, I thought it was going to be you.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, man. No, I nipped it in the bud, man. So we're just friends. So she pulls up this guy's Facebook profile, and I'm going through it, and I see his interests, and I see his hobbies, and I see the type of movies that he likes. That's enough for me to build a profile of who he is. And so I said, okay, send him this message. And I crafted the perfect message. She goes, well, you type it.
Wait a minute. You're hitting on guys.
Yeah.
It's like the movie Roxanne or something.
Yeah. Call Maddox. He'll hit on. Are you interested in a guy? Call Maddox. He'll hit on him for you.
Hey, man.
100% success rate.
I'll hit on
Best
anyone.
man hitter on in the business.
Look, dude, I know how to hit on chicks. I know how to hit on guys. I don't see how that's an insult.
It's not an insult.
Good, because I know how to hit on anyone.
I just think it's a little.
I'll hit on your dad.
Funny. That's all. You hit on my dad?
Oh no. No, he's married. I wouldn't do that. And he's a dad and a man. Anyway,
You got a problem with married guys now?
So anyway, so I crafted this perfect message, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, it's genius." I said, "I know, of course it's
It's so
genius."
gross. Do you remember what the message was?
It was something, a reference about a movie.
Hey, dude, nice tits. You want to watch Lord of War and finger each other? Gotta go.
Netflix and chill.
Right?
I just said,
That would work.
No.
That would work on any guy. What up, bro? How's your ding dong?
That's how you'd hit on a guy. You know what though?
Look, you're
All
gonna
joking
respond
aside-
or you won't.
Oh no, Dick, then you're fucking bullshit school thought. No. But actually, what Dick is saying is correct. If you do message a guy and communicate anything sexual right off the get go, you're definitely gonna get his attention. But
Well,
it wasn't that.
I'm kind of turned off by chicks who are overly promiscuous,
me
though.
too.
Like, I really am.
A
I'm
little
like,
bit. Like, look, you gotta
gotta make me think I'm working for something here.
Yeah, finesse me a little bit.
I need the carrot, not the stick.
Yeah. Or the string, the cat and the string example you gave. Yeah, I like it within the third message, like the first three messages.
Yeah, not right away.
Not the first.
Because
Maybe
I
like
think
the
you got
third.
issues.
Yeah.
Then I don't need to ask about your dad. I know what happened.
Unless you have that rapport beforehand, then go straight to sexual. Yeah, you want a booty call? Call me, buddy.
Or ma'am. I can just see like 10 chicks lined up in a bar now. Hey, can you message this guy on Facebook for me, Maddox? Yeah, sure.
I'm good at it, man. Chicks aren't good at it. Chicks are awful. As you know, Dick, chicks are awful at picking up on guys. They're really bad because they almost never have to do it. Guys are always coming to them. So when the tables get turned and they like a guy and they're trying to craft that perfect message, it's not so easy, is it, dickhead? Then you come to me.
Yeah.
Maddox,
they
master
usually
of
just have to
seduction.
lure them in.
Master of seduction, Maddox. Yeah,
Oh,
me.
God. So what happened?
So I sent this message.
To a man.
Yeah. Perfectly. It was witty. It was funny. It was sarcastic. It was a little bit dark. A little bit sassy.
Flirty?
No, dude. So I sent I sent the first message. It wasn't flirty because it grossed me out. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
But I sent the perfect message that's an introduction that tells you about her character, tells you a little bit about his. It was the perfect introduction message.
Woo!
So of course he writes back immediately, and she's like, what should I say? I'm like, what would you?
Too eager. Delete him.
Well, yeah. First of all, right? But no, he messages back, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, he messaged back. You were right." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I'm right. Of course he's gonna message you back." So then she hands me her phone to start chatting with this dude. I'm like,
whoa.
"Oh, lady, come on. I'm not gonna do this." She goes, "Well, I don't know what to say." I said, "What would you say?" Because at some point you realize I'm not dating this man. You realize at some point you have to take over. And he has to get to know you because he's potentially going to bang you, not me. He's never going to bang me.
Right. She's way overanalyzing this, too.
Exactly, Sean.
Just talk like a fucking human being.
Yeah. Sean, so what does this sound like? A woman who's way overanalyzing this guy. Friends on pussy. No, a friends on pussy.
Friends on pussy. Okay.
That's exactly. So she turned herself into a friends on pussy because what she kept doing. And then I said, lady, look, I did this favor for you. I gave you the introduction, and within like the first three messages, I said, "Well, get to the point where you're going to get his digits, so you guys can start texting."
Yeah, that's out right away.
Yeah, that's the next step.
Always.
Get the digits, and so she got the digits within like 4 or 5 messages, and I kind of coached her on how to do that. So she got the guy's digits, and then she kept texting me all night. She's like, "Well, what should I say to this? What should I say to that?" And I just put my phone on silent, put it in my pocket, moved on with my life because. And then I pulled her aside the next day when I saw her. She's like, well, he sent me this last text, and he hasn't replied yet, and he hasn't blah, blah, blah. And she started over-analyzing every text that he sent.
I said, by the way, you got to do this guy a favor and fuck up the texting. Because this girl sounds like a fucking pill.
Well, I mean, look, man, when I have friends who have this problem, I try to coach them through it to get over that pussy or dick on a pedestal, dick on a dice. So I pulled her aside. I said, look, lady, how much time and effort do you think he's spending sending these texts to you? Do you think he's thinking about you right now? And she said, no. I said, exactly. He's not. So why are you thinking about him? Who gives a shit? He's not a thing until he's a thing. And it's the same thing with all these guys who are friend zone pussies. The girl that you are obsessed with is not a thing until she becomes a thing. Period. Stop obsessing. If you haven't made that move within the second or third time you guys have gone out, you guys haven't made out, you guys haven't had sex, you haven't done anything, forget it. It's gone. Forever. Forget it. Move on. Find another girl and don't fuck it up with her and communicate sexual interest because guess what? Big surprise. We're all humans and we all like sex, including the girls that you're obsessing over.
Right.
Yeah. That's my whole problem and a solution all wrapped in one.
What's the solution called?
The solution is bang.
Let you do all the romancing. That's the solution.
Yeah.
Like a 900 number interceptor. No, I do think that the friend zone pussies that you're talking about are also like the most vicious when they finally do get dumped, if it ever happens. Like only one story comes to mind. This guy was this girl I knew who I was kind of just hanging out with her. Like we would go do nice stuff, like fun stuff together, like date-ish stuff, but it wasn't a friendship. It definitely wasn't a friendship. I did kind of want to bang her, but I didn't want to make it like a priority.
So how was it not a friendship if you hadn't banged?
Well, because we're going out on dates every
Entirely sexual. We'd hang out sometimes, and then when we communicated with each other. She asked me someday would you ever want this to be more? I said no, I'm not really in that that place right now, and I said, look, if this means no more sex, I'm okay with that. I understand if that's what you want. And she said, no, I definitely want sex.
There you go. That's what. Yeah.
No, she said I definitely want sex. I said, okay, game on. Here we go. We're doing this.
I don't know. It just doesn't work for me like that.
You've never tried it.
No,
have you tried it?
I have. They'll bring it up. They'll say like it's okay if this is just a second. It's like I don't know then what are we even doing?
Just banging.
It takes the magic out of it, Maddox. It needs to be a mind game as well. There needs to be and besides they know like the whole time I'm sitting there like how do you even have to ask? Like if you have to ask, you know. That's my philosophy on it.
No, I dated a girl. Actually, the last girl I dated, my last serious relationship, she wanted a relationship right from the get-go, and it was a long-distance thing, and I said, it's too hard. I don't want that, for sure. I don't want a long-distance relationship, because I've done that, been there, done that, don't want to do it again. And so she had kind of written it off as a thing that was never going to happen, and then at some point, it did down the line. But yeah, things can change. I mean, whatever you communicate to them, things may change down the line, but if you communicate what you want up front and then stick to it, there's no problem.
I think it loses a lot of what made it good. when you communicate that, because it's like, well, then wait, like you're not putting out, you're not going the extra mile to make me happy. Then, you know, you're not working for a relationship now. You're just like kind of squeezing blood from a stone at that point. Like you're trying to wring the last bits of affection out of something that's already dead. To me, that's what happens.
Okay, so to recap,
it's not good for me. I don't like it.
So to recap our philosophies, my approach is to be honest, to stop being a friend-zoned pussy. Be honest and communicate up front what you want. And Dick's approach is to do the exact opposite. Don't communicate that up front.
Well, not if you're a friend zone. If you make your intentions clear, and then if she's not into it, leave.
That's true.
Women,
okay, then we see eye to eye.
You're not gonna dupe her into wanting to fuck you.
Exactly.
Like, she doesn't want to fuck you.
Exactly.
Like, what are you like Cosby 2.0? You're gonna trick her into it? You know,
Gross,
like,
dude.
oh, here, if I provide enough value, like you're just not good enough, man.
No.
You're not a stock portfolio. Relax. She doesn't like you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I have a ton of experience in this from guys who hang around with girls I'm dating. It used to drive me insane that they would keep these dudes around, mostly because partly because they feel sorry for them, but partly because it feeds, like, it's a thing for them. It's like a safety net for them. It's like it feeds their ego to be there for this guy.
Spawning for them?
Yeah. So they won't get rid of them. That's my experience with it. And I feel bad for them because they embarrass themselves.
The guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing, man.
I just want to take him aside and go like, dude, come on, I'm getting ready to break up with this girl. You know what?
You don't want this.
Yeah, you don't want this.
You don't want my sloppy seconds, bro. And I've seen that too. I've seen that happen so many times. Like, a girl will be dating a guy, and then she has a bunch of Klingons, right? And the Klingons, and I'll notice the Klingons, and I'm like, I pull the girl over aside. I remember I had this conversation with this girl one time online. And I told her, most guys who are your friends and who've been your longtime friends, probably want to fuck you. I'm just gonna put that out there. Probably want to. And even if they don't actually do it or will never do it, they probably thought about it. And I pulled her aside. And I said, "Do you have a guy?" And she goes, "No, that's not true. That's not true. I have a guy friend who I've been friends with for 8 years, and we're just friends. And he's never wanted to have sex with me at all." I said, "Have you ever asked him?"
Yeah.
And she said, "No, I haven't." I said, Go ask him." And she goes, "Fine, I will." She came back to me 30 minutes later. 30 minutes later, she goes, "Oh my gosh,
I'm pregnant."
No, she came back 30 minutes later and she said, "You're right."
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. She said, I've known this guy forever. Yeah, she said, "I've known this guy forever." And then they started talking about it, and they had like a 4-hour conversation that night.
God.
She came back to me the next day. This was like way back in the early days of the internet when I was still using Yahoo Messenger. You know, some of these old chat. So I was talking to this girl. She said, "Yeah, I talked to him for about 4 hours about his thoughts and his feelings, and he said that he's always had a crush on me, and he just never knew how to communicate it to me, and he'd always been hanging around with me." So guys, when you start to guilt these girls for putting you in the friend zone, guess what, shithead? You put yourself there.
Yeah.
All right? Because you put yourself there by not having the balls to stand up and communicate what you want and see if it's there, see if it's mutual. And if it's not, fuck off and move on. You know what? Deal with rejection. You're going to get rejected all the time. You're going to get rejected for jobs. You're going to get rejected for relationships. You're going to get rejected for colleges. Deal with rejection. And here's how you deal with it. You become better. You become a better person that somebody won't want to reject. You don't then guilt the girls for putting you in a friend zone, dickhead, because you put yourself there.
I mean, I'm going to say I agree with everything you're saying except for the be better, because sometimes it's just, you're not it.
That's true.
Sometimes they'll go for a total piece of shit. You're just not it, dude.
Well,
relax. Like, you just can't have everything you want in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. It's not a linear scale.
That's true, Dick. Sometimes you're not it. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you might not be clicking it with that person because not everyone clicks with you, obviously. If you think that everyone should be compatible with everyone else, then you're opening yourself up to a lot of ones and twos.
It's like, what if a guy didn't want to be your friend?
Yeah.
And you chase him around? What's wrong? What's wrong with me?
What can I do? What can I do to be better? What can I do to be better?
You're only friends with assholes.
Yeah. Gosh, he doesn't want to hang out with me. Nobody wants to go bowling with me.
And then spend all this money renting bowling shoes for everybody.
And then stalk them on Facebook and say, "Oh, he went bowling the other day with someone else.
Yeah.
He never wants to go bowling with me."
What I was going to say, I started that story, I didn't finish it. the girl that I was just hanging out with every once in a while.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her company. There was like a flirtation there. She's a nice girl.
Okay.
This guy that was like obsessively trying to bang her, and I even gave him some tips. I'm like, look, this is what you got to knock off this shit you're doing. Just do this, like jokingly, because I did want to help him out.
Yeah.
He exploded on her one night because all of these pussification feelings just overwhelmed his tampon one day, and he couldn't take being friend zoned anymore. He exploded on her. She called me. Came over, wanted to come over and drink and talk about it, like to get her mind off her, because she was so. Yeah, we banged. We did a bunch of blow. Problem because they're salting the earth.
They're salting the earth, yes.
Yeah.
Guys and girls, please stop worrying about the friend zone because it's invented. It's something you're creating. You're putting yourself there. It's a jail that you invented. You're opening the door. You're walking in. You're shutting it behind you, and you're throwing away the keys. Fuck off. Be a better person, and you won't get everyone. You won't get everyone. You're not going to be attracted to everyone. But the better you are, the more likely it will be that you will be attracted to more people. Look, man, I worked on myself a lot, and I still have a lot to do, but before I did that, I was this friend zone pussy, and I got out of that jail. I finally found the key. I figured it out. You got to communicate sexuality. You got to be a better person. Be a better version of yourself.
Well, yeah.
It increases the likelihood, man. It's an odds thing. Look, man.
Yeah, but I like being a sleazeball. I try to be more of a sleazeball. I think there's all those who just hate that. Like, they're like, oh, you act like a scumbag. You do all these dirty scumbag things. I don't want to date you. And I'm like, oh, that's like the best version of me. So, fuck you. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. All right, Dick. My problems this week. The problem is friend zone pussies. Guys and girls.
My problem was the Pope. See you next Tuesday.
Why not just grow real
dickhead, because I was going to a party, and I was making a costume, and I didn't want to make the party ball with my real teeth on it. So what you doing is really racist. How's that?
What?
Because you don't use software to make cubes out.
Yeah, I've always got kind of cubes. He's looking at it. I got these
Every time black people have cubes on their head.
Hey, that's definitely fun. I'm doing a great job. Thank you.
I'm surprised I have the PC police now.
Just making an observation.
How does that song go? We are the PC police. Woo woo.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, this week Mal said that he needed cubes for a costume.
Gosh, again?
What the fuck is that? What kind of costume do you use for a cube?
I'll tell
And
you.
Dick will fuck
Yeah. I'll tell you what kind of costume. I made a costume one year where I had a giant vagina on my shirt and with googly eyes and teeth, and it was kind of drooling, and the googly eyes were weird, and it was the pussy monster. And so I put a bunch of tubes right on the crotch area, like a merkin. You know what a merkin is? Yeah. So I put a bunch of pubes, and I gave it a little...
It's a pubic wig for everybody who doesn't know that, because they're not a fucking weirdo. Who would know that, right? Both of us know what it is,
Yeah,
and probably
immediately.
50,000 people who don't know what a merkin is.
Dude, in the last 2 weeks, it's come up so much in conversations, whereas it's never come up before in my life. But anyway, yeah. So I made this this pussy monster.
It is
have,
a
like,
nice
face,
blank.
and it was like
It will make
had
a
nose,
very
the
fine
nose was
brush.
like the clit. It was kind of cool, and then it had huge puby eyebrows. Oh yeah, people appreciated the attention to detail, and then.
Is this canon somewhere, or is this a mythology that you've invented, the pussy monster?
Just I invented
Okay.
it. I always like to invent my own costumes. So because I had the consideration and foresight to use fake pubes, girls came up to me and they started petting my chest. They said, "Oh, can I touch the pubes?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, touch my pubes all day, baby." Then one pube leads to another, and next thing you know, bang towel.
To the carpet. Does the carpet match the pecs?
Yeah.
It sounds like you needed a lot of pubes.
Yeah, no friends on there, buddy.
Dude, why are you so proud of this wig? I don't know. I still don't understand why you couldn't just use your own pubes, or your arm hair, or your chest hair, or your leg hair, or any hair. Why'd you have to buy a wig? I feel like you really just wanted a wig to wear around. I don't think it had anything to do with pubes. I think that was just
Is this the same guy?
I think it might be.
Terrible lie that you're pushing too hard.
Well, you got the answer.
All right, yeah, you got the answer. You know what, Dick? I'll tell you why I didn't use my own pubes. In addition to what I just said. So I've been on set, and when I have the lav mics on me. For people who don't know, a lav mic is a little mic that you put on your body. It's kind of like what newscasters wear.
And a set is where big shots go to shoot their fucking TV shows, right? While you're defining all these terms for
Dick,
us.
it's all I've done for the last 3 weeks. But so at the end of every night, when I pull off this tape from my chest, they tape it directly to my chest.
Yeah.
I rip it off, and there's this ball of hair on the tape because it's basically duct tape on my chest.
Yeah.
And I pull it off and I show everyone. Everyone gets grossed out. Like people start dry heaving. And I took a picture of it because it's like pulling stems and shit out of my chest. So I took a picture of it, and it's so gross. I was gonna post it on Instagram, but I thought I didn't want to ruin everyone's day. You dickheads want to know why you don't use real pubes? Fine, fuckface. I'll post this picture on the website. I'll gross everyone out. There you go. You got what you asked for.
You got what you asked for.
Good job, idiots. Morons.
No copyright infringements today, man. Come on. Fingerprint doesn't work anymore.
Today's show is brought to you by Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/biggest and using promo code BIGGEST.
Market because they overproduce them, and then they put them in warehouses that were supposed to be air cooled and conditioned and all that.
Right.
Then over time, those apples became mealy, and they were selling those in market. They were selling those apples to market, and then that's the apple that people associate with Red Rose. But we stopped doing that. Red Rose is back, baby, and it's the healthiest apple. It has the most antioxidants.
Oh, all right.
How do you feel about Granny Smith?
Stop, no.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to Apple Talk. All right, guys.
How did we do last week?
All right. Gentlemen, the biggest problem from last week, friend zone pussy.
Okay.
Yeah, friend zone pussies came in #1 last week. Biggest problem.
They're annoying.
Yeah.
For all the reasons we went over.
Yeah, they're annoying. And then the Pope barely eked out into the positive territory here.
Well, I'm okay with that. Because this show is not always about problems competing. It usually is. But sometimes it's not. And in some cases, it's about whether something is a problem or not. For example, monkeys. Is it a problem or not? Is it in the positives or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Pope in this case, definitely in the positives.
Okay.
So he is a problem.
Dick,
I'm happy with that.
That's okay. I agree with that latter part, but the entire show has been mischaracterized. It has always been whether or not something is a problem, and not whether or not the two things can be.
Well, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, what's the biggest also?
Yeah, the problem that affects the most number of people.
Well, okay.
That's the biggest, right? By definition.
But it's not voting.
Yeah.
It's like people's perception of whether or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so I'm also happy in some cases where is this as big a problem? Is the Pope as big of a problem as the income tax? Another one I brought in. Like I want to go see the big problem list to see which is higher.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting to me. The Pope is a bigger problem than burlesque dancers, for example.
Well, burlesque dancers is still the most controversial problem to date on our show.
Yeah.
Nobody can decide whether or not it should or shouldn't be a problem. It's dead even, still hovering around zero.
The Pope actually called in.
He calls to the Pope.
Hey Dick, this is Pope Francis, calling from the Vatican. This is how I talk. So I'd like to tell you, Dick, something as a Christian. I was trying to change some ways. I think you misheard what I said. I actually am gay. I use condoms regularly. I own a weapons manufacturing plant, and I use the weapons made there to perform abortion. Yeah, you really got everything I said wrong. So go vote down me. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Wow. Oh, really salty language from the Pope. Angry Pope.
I don't know if you want to hear him again.
Yeah, let's hear from my gay Pope.
Well, yeah, okay.
Good thank you, guys. Hello. This is Pope Francis. Hello. I miss the day that I called you. Let me understand this. Big from what I told is taking umbrage with the fact that I come to your country. Talking to your politician. Giving out my opinions. This is what they think. Progress only happens when men of dignity listen to the ideas of many people men. Never ever go against the perfect family again. I will continue this time, my son. But if it were to happen again, and you were to open your mouth and say such things about me, one of my bishops might have to open up one of your veins. And Maddox, the only way that you will find salvation is if you admit your sin. Killing little boys.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't think that's the
That
point.
would be taking a side.
All right.
All right.
Pretty good Brando.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, real tough Pope over there. I got a comment from Emma Olsen who says, Emma's a she. She says, Emma, how did you miss the glaring
Weird
opportunity?
name for a girl.
What, Emma?
Yeah.
That's one of those gender neutral names.
Like Stephanie. Yeah. So cool.
Like Lucy.
Yeah.
Man, I got an argument with some people.
Over Apple?
No. Yeah, actually, just to rewind 5 minutes ago. No, about whether or not you should choose gendered names for your kids. And people are saying, no, you shouldn't. You can choose gendered names, especially if you're not sure that your child is androgynous. Neutral?
They remember.
Nutria, yeah. Anyway, Emma Olsen says, how did you miss the glaring opportunity to name your new amnesia bit Deja Dick?
It's pretty funny.
Deja Dick would have been a better name for it, but yeah, it's Dick Instant Amnesia. I also got a comment from Kyle Kincaid. He says, wait, Maddox spends... Oh, hold on. I just realized what kind of message this was. Wait, Maddox spends 5 minutes bitching about human robots and people using the Nuremberg defense at work that they're just doing their job, in quotes, right? But then he bitches about Kim Davis just needing to shut up and do her job, and Dick didn't call him out, question mark, exclamation mark, number one. Kyle Kincaid, idiot. The problem is Kim Davis, so we mentioned this in the last
are we
episode.
getting into Kim Davis again?
I gotta mention this.
Yeah,
Kim
but
Davis,
you can't just mention it. It's a whole thing.
Well,
okay,
it's a comment. We're going over the comments.
All right.
Go
So,
ahead, Kim
go ahead.
Davis, last episode. We talked about her. She was the one who was grandstanding and not signing declarations of marriage for gay people. Because it violates her beliefs, her sacred beliefs.
You can say it in a dumb voice, but
Well,
that was her reason.
Yeah, her reason is bullshit, Dick. And you, of all people, should see a scam a million miles away. This Kim Davis, no, hold on. This Kim Davis chick, right? She says it violates her sacred beliefs. You know what? Every time you get married, you make sacred vows. Under the eyes of God, you make sacred vows, and you make sacred vows to each other, and you promise each other you're going to be with them for better or worse, sickness and health. You're going to be together forever. That's it, forever. 4 times she's been married. 4 times she broke. 3 times she broke her vows.
Right.
3 times she broke sacred vows that she chose herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe in shit. And also, the vows...
hold on. Well, you going to stack them all up, or you want to go through
I'm
them
building
one
a
by
case
one?
here. I'm building a case here.
Okay.
So this the whole gay marriage thing, right, comes from Leviticus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and in Leviticus, it also says that eating fat is a sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, carelessly making an oath is a sin. She's done that for sure. Eating any seafood without fins or scales is a sin.
Well, she's also gluttonous. She's fatter than hell.
Sure.
Have you seen it?
That's a sin.
Yeah.
Lying is a sin. Going to church within 33 days after giving birth to a boy, that's a sin. These are all, you can't pick and choose. She was just cherry picking one thing from Leviticus because she's a bigot. That's all it is.
Oh man, all right.
That's what I gotta say. What do you want to say?
I find it so bizarre when people quote the Bible to like disprove other biblical beliefs, because it's like, well, okay, here's one to disprove your beliefs. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. So just throw out the entire book.
Well, that's a theory.
Oh yeah, it is. That's a theory.
The conservation of energy is a theory. It's not a law. It is. They call it the law of conservation of energy, but there's no proof for it.
Okay. I don't know where you
There's
want to go.
There's a better example you
Kim
have, though.
Davis.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that when people use the Bible to disprove the Bible, it's kind of silly because then...
It's silly.
Yeah.
It's so... It's like... I'm so tired of hearing it. Like, yes, I get it. And it says, like, don't eat fish or eat fish... It's like full of a bunch of stupid rules for primitive apes.
Yeah.
We all understand. You don't need to convince those of us that understand the Bible's contradictory, that it's contradictory. You're talking to someone who grew up in, like... is the daughter of a pastor. Like, what do you think?
She was the daughter of a pastor?
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't Christian until like 3-4 years ago.
I don't know what that has to do with it,
Well,
but she's the daughter of a pastor.
Well, whether or not she's the daughter of a pastor, I mean, I'm the son of conservative parents. I grew up in a conservative state. That doesn't mean anything.
Here's all I'm saying. Before everyone knee-jerks all of a sudden, I get it. We're all very tolerant. We're all very smart. We all get it. Everyone knows that you did the wrong thing. Everyone knows. All I'm saying is, this is an elected official who told the federal government to go fuck themselves. Okay? I'm on board with that no matter what. When it comes to being principled about, like, you know, states voting and states' rights and democracy. Yeah, and you can... It's hard to defend principles when they have a bad result. Right? When like, well, a bunch of people voted and they say we don't want gay marriage. Like, well, do it or we'll throw you in jail. You know? Yeah. That's a great one. Right? So, like, let's use our words. Let's convince these people. They had in Kentucky, and I don't know if this is true federally, but there is a law saying you have to make concessions for people's beliefs a little bit. You have to try. Yeah. And they did. They did try. I don't think they did.
They did.
No, here's why I think it's a scam. You say I know what a scam I see. Here's why I think it's a scam. I think that the governor and the Congress of Kentucky could have said, you know what? We're gonna make it a law. We're going to make it a state law. We're going to override your authority and say you don't have to have your name on this certificate. It can be anybody. Because we can do that. As a governor, I can do that. And but, because of the climate down there, I think that would be political suicide for them, so they didn't do it and threw her under the bus. It's cool. I like people getting made fun of on the news. And I love hearing, like, oh, look at this fucking bigot. But what really happened? That's all I'm saying.
Dick, they did make an exception. The judge literally said that the deputy who worked in the office could sign it off instead of her. And she still said no. This fucking cow still said no. She's still grandstanding. She's a bitch. She's just a solid gold bitch. Ice cold. But that's not... She's sculpted. A fucking bitch. Born and raised, man. What did he bitch to? He's a big fucking bitch. I want someone else who's gonna do it. I would eat the shit out of her if she was the right girl, his buddy. Kim Davis is dead. Oh man, that's good. Alright. So anyway,
you're right. She should have just done her job.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No, see, you fucking... See, and that's what this dipshit, that's
Yeah,
what
but
this
that's
moron,
the
Kyle
point.
Kincaid here, because I literally said in that episode when I was talking about human robots, I said, look guys, there are exceptions to this rule. There are exceptions to most rules. And I want people to follow I want people to do their job in certain circumstances, when it's life or death, or when it comes to generally agreed upon good things, when you're not inhibiting someone's right, when you're not cherry picking things that you believe from the Bible, when you're not cherry picking your principles. Yeah. And by the way, not allowing gay people to marry, because apparently the Bible says signing a document is now a sin. So fuck you. But apparently hold on, that is not equivalent to some guy telling me to walk 4 blocks before I get on a bus that I need to get on.
Yeah.
It's not fucking equivalent.
Because
to
your
shit.
belief is that you should be able to sit out of the sun. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, that's all it came down to.
It's still about the
It's
bus.
about that.
how can you expect this guy to do something else to do this?
Because dipshits, learn the difference between all and some. What the fuck is wrong with you? Learn. Go to preschool. Preschool. They teach you that shit. They teach you all and many. Yeah? All and many are different things.
I don't think she's grandstanding either. Like she shut down the whole office because she didn't want to treat straight people more. She didn't want to give them something she couldn't give gay people. Like she said, I can't marry gay people because it's against my beliefs. So I'm not going to do any marriages because I don't feel right marrying some people and not others. I'm like, well, that's almost shockingly reasonable from someone who thinks gay people are going to hell. What are you gonna say? Somebody help this stupid lady out.
Dick.
Somebody who has power over her, help her out here.
Dick, all she is a fucking glorified notary. Okay, she just signing a document. That doesn't mean shit. She doesn't have the
something
power.
to her though.
It doesn't fucking matter what it means to her. If you don't like it, fucking quit your job and stay home and don't be an elected official. Don't work in jobs where you're afraid your precious morals and your precious beliefs, which are all bullshit. You don't believe in anything. All King Davis believes in is being a pig.
Hey,
bitch teeth.
If the same thing was happening with guns, I would 100% support a local elected official who is standing up to the federal government and taking guns away. Do you think that's crazy or not?
Explain that to me.
Okay. Let's say government came in and said, you know, we're taking all guns.
Yeah.
So local cops, it's now federally illegal to have guns. Local cops go round them up, and the local sheriff said, "Oh, fuck you, no fucking way." So what would happen then? Feds come in, you're under arrest, you're violating federal law, blah, blah, blah. So just like weed. Like we say we're making weed. So Chris Christie gets elected to the White House. Like that fat ass rolls into the White House and says he's going to enforce federal marijuana laws. He comes to Colorado and says, you're all fucking guilty. I would hope every single elected official said, fuck you, these are our laws. Now, I don't agree with the no-gay marriage thing. If anything, I don't want the government to be involved in it at all.
Yeah.
It's a contract, right?
I guess. I mean,
just in my world, that's way better, but that's not on the table, right?
Well, it is. There's 2 different types of marriages. You can have a ceremonial marriage, and which is just the ceremony, and then the legal marriage, which is just a document that they file on a fucking
But
filing cabinet.
there's also a civil union. And the problem was that they didn't get it called marriage. Like civil unions existed.
No, but civil unions were not the same as marriage. You still didn't get visitation rights in hospitals.
So then knock down marriage to civil, like don't, well, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I'd rather have marriage knocked down to the other one. All I'm saying is, yeah, it's easy to beat this poor, stupid, fat, ugly woman up.
Well, I'm not piling on about her looks
Yeah, but
or
everybody's
her...
piling
I know, but that's unfair. If she was attractive,
Now
people
take
wouldn't.
the high road.
But for real.
Now I'm the asshole.
No, yeah, I don't think people.
You don't think Kim Davis is ugly? She's ugly as
That's
shit.
irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Whether or not she's ugly is irrelevant. Like, yeah, but it's just like a additional meme piling. Of course she is. She's not great looking. But here's the thing, man. Let's focus this on.
Being ugly doesn't make you a worse person. It's factual that she's ugly.
Not to what
No,
we're talking about.
Disney taught us all that beautiful people are good and ugly people are good. Right. So when I say she's ugly, 100% factual, but people think that that's a slam. That's your own prejudices.
But here's the thing. Had you not known anything about Kim Davis, would you just single her out and make fun of her for being ugly?
Yeah, me? Oh, God, yeah.
Sean's
I walk
nodding with
around
the
all
hyena.
day. Like, look at that ugly motherfucker. Over there.
Yeah,
Look at that
but,
bitch.
you know,
think
not-
she can pull off those.
Not on the scale. Not to 50,000 listeners on the world famous biggest problem in the universe podcast.
What do you mean? Why?
No, you
You
wouldn't.
don't
just,
think I would
you
make fun
wouldn't
of her for being
single-
ugly?
No, you wouldn't single someone out like that for being, say, ugly or unattractive had they not had those ugly opinions and ugly beliefs. Like, look, man, Kim Davis. The bottom line is, I don't think it's the same as that example of the gun because first of all, gun rights are part of the Constitution, whereas this is like
Marriage
some
is
weird.
not.
Well, yeah, but the Constitution doesn't abridge rights. That's not what the Constitution is for. The Constitution is not there as a document that tells you what you can't do. Just because it doesn't explicitly prohibit it in the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't give you the rights to play video games. Doesn't give you the rights to walk down the park or do anything. Those are just inherent rights. Those are inherent inalienable rights.
Yeah, and then but it does say all the rights not covered here go to the states.
Now, yeah, but the states cannot abridge your rights. They can't.
Okay.
Even state law, like Los Angeles parking is a good example. You can generally park anywhere you want, so long as it doesn't say you can't. Those are the laws. If it doesn't say you can't, then you can. That's it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. They determined what marriage is. Never had done it before. Now they have. Right?
Well, it's because they were preventing people from doing it.
Hey, if you think 5 lawyers should be the ones doing that, more power to you. A lot of people don't.
And that's another. I read another comment in the comment section. Somebody was saying, "Hey, now, the Kentucky state law says that people can marry." And the problem is, shithead, the Kentucky state law can't pass any goofy law they want that supersedes the Constitution. They can't just pass a law that says slavery is legal now. They can't just pass a law
that gets struck down as unconstitutional.
Well, yeah,
that's the point.
Exactly.
But that's not what this was. They struck it down as unconstitutional and defined what it is. That's very different. Saying you can't have this law is its own thing.
Dick? Are you opposed to this law?
I'm opposed to marriage as a government institution.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. I can't say I'm opposed to only straight marriage, but pro-gay marriage. I like that everyone's happy about it. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing, and I don't think it was done in a good way. And I think this problem that's happening is going to come up again, and next time it's not going to get the big media storm because nobody stops to understand what's going on.
Well, the reason that this is a government institution is because there are taxes involved. There are different. Yeah, but there are taxes involved, and it complicates things when it comes to kids. When you have kids, you have to either share the same name or find out some kind of legal custody, because if the kid goes to but it's all complicated. Without it, I looked into this, Dick. Don't bullshit me.
Too. Don't bullshit me either. Adoption exists without marriage.
Yeah, what's the option?
What option?
You're telling me the option exists. Tell me what that option is.
You mean a world without the government institution of marriage?
Can I finish this point?
Sure.
The option without marriage is some really obscure legal document called, it's not power of attorney, it's one step higher than power of attorney, where you have to sign basically some right that allows someone who you're partnered with to have absolute full control over everything in your life, including your finances and your health records and everything else. That is the only legal alternative to marriage. And if you have a child with somebody and you want hospital visitation rights, marriage is the only way to do that. That's why marriage is a government institution. I don't fucking trust a company with that authority.
A company? What do you mean?
Well, the alternative would be either a company to someone's got to keep track of this shit, Dick. If your kid shows up at the hospital, broken leg or whatever, their parents or legal guardian's going to come and pick that kid up, right? They need to have some way of verifying that you are actually related to this kid, or you're supposed to be there, or you have authority to make decisions on behalf of this kid. That's why marriage exists, and that's why the government should be in charge of those documents in that filing process, because I don't fucking trust the company to do that. Because next thing you know, it's going to be like Equifax and TransUnion. You have to pay a fee every couple months to check up on your spousal affiliation or your families. That's fucking bullshit, man. Look, there's a purpose.
I know what you're
for
talking
government.
about with Equifax and companies controlling stuff, though.
TRW, Equifax, TransUnion, these are the credit
You know
companies.
that me and you can make a contract right here on a piece of paper and it's valid.
Well,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
A company doesn't need to be involved in that.
Well, then who's going to enforce that contract, though? I mean, we need a witness, we need a notary.
We need a notary, yeah.
Right. But again, back to this point, though, Dick. The alternative to marriage is, and by the way, I hate marriage. You know I do. I absolutely loathe it. But the alternative is some company trying to take care of this bookkeeping process, which is
I don't know where that company part comes from.
Well, who's going to do it? Who's going to find out if you go to a hospital and you want to?
But I just described a scenario where you and I have a contract and there's no company involved there.
Okay.
It's notarized, and then if there's an issue, you take it to court.
So what? When every time you go to a hospital, you just bring a whole pile of papers and notarized little trinkets and things that we signed here on this coffee table.
You don't bring in a marriage certificate when your kid's in the hospital. You just show up, and there's not a weird document procedure to prove they're your kid.
Well,
you don't have to bring. There's some cases where you have to bring a birth certificate, but the birth certificate lists the parents on it. That's enough to prove parentage.
Yeah, but
in most cases.
but you aren't able to come into that hospital unless you have a right to do so.
Well,
you
yeah,
don't
but
get
they don't.
a visitation.
Like, have you been to see somebody in the hospital? There's not like a Gestapo agent standing outside checking your papers. They just kind of take your word for it.
Right, but up until something happens, if you are going to make a life or death decision on behalf of somebody,
Sure.
you better have the authority to do so. Otherwise, it's your ass on the line.
Yeah, there's birth certificates, custody papers. I guess if you had to sue for custody for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is all covered. It's not like the marriage contract is not the key to this.
it gets complicated. Who owns custody? Who has the right to raise that child? Like that's why marriage is this thing. And look, man, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's a huge problem. And I ideally in a perfect world, marriage would be abolished. But then we need to find a solution for custody rights and visitation rights and all these other complicated things that arise from healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to get to a problem?
Dick, before we move on, we have to talk about this. We got this beautiful piece of art. It's a plaque, all right? It looks like a giant middle finger, and it's gold, and it's flipping you off, and it says, Dick and Maddox get raped.
Oh, very good.
It's what the plaque says. And this thing, we'll post a picture on the website. It looks so realistic, like creepily so, right? You can see the
someone's hand was used. Someone has a big meaty hand.
Right. Oh yeah. It's veiny. It's got. You can see the skin texture, even the fingerprints on this thing. It's insane. I've never seen anything this detailed. And then it was accompanied by a note. This was sent to us from. Let's see. There's a watermark from an organization called CUNT, C-U-N-T. And it says, "Dear." Yeah.
Spell it.
Yeah. It's got the initials here, C-U-N-T.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's initial. Each letter stands for something. And I'll tell you what it stands for. This is a legitimate organization. Came from Utah. This guy named Tom Lund. He says, Dear Dick and Maddox, as chairman of the Central Union of Network Telecommunications, CUNT, it is my honor and privilege to bestow upon you our annual award for factually unresearched coverage of kosher and essential rhetoric in a podcast.
Oh, good. It's about time.
Your contribution to podcasts as a form of media has been invaluable. Millions of hours have been squandered following you two on a whirlwind exploration as you seek to address every problem in the universe from animal fuckers to zoophiles. The award committee hopes that this plaque will not only give you both great pride in your achievements, but will inspire you to continue discussing your trivial annoyances at great length. Again, congratulations and best wishes for future success. Sincerely, Tom Lund, a.k.a. Mr. Lug.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's the president of the Cunt Association.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, it's,
you go ahead and get raped as well.
Yeah. I love how that became a thing based on a YouTube comment. Anyway, yeah, let's get to a problem, Dick.
Okay.
I got the biggest problem in the universe, buddy. Bacteria. Yeah. Yeah, bacteria. Good one, huh?
Yeah.
Now, Dick, I have to be precise here because I'm going to get all these morons, these dipshits. No.
Are you defending it?
Yes, I can hear their idiotic, their responses and their emails to me. I'm still getting fucking comments about the death thing. Like, there's some good things about death too.
Yeah.
No shit, fuckhead. This is the thing. I know there's good bacteria. All right. Yeah, everyone knows there's good bacteria.
Yeah.
We all know. It's not a big fucking deal. We know it makes yogurt. We know you got it in your gut. You needed to digest things.
Yeah.
A lot of bacteria is helpful. We get it. All right. I'm talking about pathogenic bacteria, fuckhead. All right. There's bad bacteria. I'm talking about the bad bacteria.
Put that on the list then.
I'm
You
only
can't
talking
just
about the rapist Mexicans, not the good ones.
Then you're just talking about rapists, Sean. No, it's pathogenic bacteria. That's the bacteria that I'm talking about here.
What is that?
It's bacteria that's bad for you, that infects you.
Oh.
A pathogen. A pathogen is a
Okay.
bacteria, something that infects you, right? And I looked into this. This is kind of interesting. So bacteria was first, this is according to, I think, Wikipedia. It says bacteria was first observed by the Dutch microscopist Antony van Leeuwenhoek in 1676. And he originally called bacteria, when he saw them, he called them animalcules. Animalcules. Small molecules made out of animals or molecule-sized animals. He just thought they were like, oh, little tiny, like almost like homunculuses.
Animalcules?
Animalcules. Yeah, little animals crawling around, creepy crawlies all over everything. So I looked into this, man, and diseases caused by bacteria are, there's a ton. Here's just a few of them. Tetanus, typhoid fever, diphtheria, syphilis, Dick, cholera,
Syphilis is caused by being too cool. What are you talking about?
foodborne illness, leprosy, tuberculosis, syphilis, dick. Acne, anthrax, dick.
Anthrax, you think I fucked a cow? I have fucked a couple cows, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, well, it is. Hey. Dysentery, gonorrhea, and urinary tract infection. These are all things that are caused by bacteria. You know what isn't caused by bacteria, though? I looked this up. Malaria. Malaria is not. And malaria is not viral either. Do you know what malaria is?
Being bitten by mosquitoes?
Yeah, it's parasitic. Yeah, because that's what malaria is. So important distinction. Malaria is not bacterial. And viral infections are not bacterial either. A lot of times people take antibiotics anytime they get sick.
Oh,
but guys,
God.
I've known people
Yeah,
like
it doesn't work for a cold.
Yeah, they
that's
just-
a virus.
Well, it makes superbugs too. It makes all
Yeah.
the other like little
Resistant.
bacteria you have floating around resistant to that.
Yeah, that's true. We are unnaturally selecting. I guess we're just selecting bacteria-resistant
So
bacteria.
naturally, 'cause we're doing it with chemicals.
Well, so a
I mean,
while
natural.
ago, I had this argument about natural selection, and evolution is not the only way that. Natural selection is not the only way that evolution occurs. There's a number of different processes that go into the mechanism of evolution, and we are one of them. And biologists don't like to think of humans as part of the ecosystem. We don't like to think of us as things that affect our ecosystem.
Biologists don't like that.
Yeah, because they're not copying to. I mean, some biologists do, but for the large part, biologists. Anytime humans breed a specific type of cow, or breed a specific type of chicken, or create a type of fruit or something that humans like or enjoy, we have selected that, right?
Yeah.
And we somehow are not part of that process. We don't factor ourselves into this genetic evolution equation.
What do you mean that we don't factor ourselves in? I would think biologists are well aware of this. They're smart guys.
Yeah, but they don't call that evolution. They call it something else. It's not evolution. I talked to a biologist, and they were very careful to not confuse that with evolution. They said, no, that's not evolution. I'm like, well, why not? I mean, we are creatures. We're just creatures walking around this earth. We select certain breeds of animals.
Do you really
to
think
live.
that's a majority opinion, though, of biologists?
I don't know, Sean.
But is it
Well,
is
you
it
just,
a
I mean,
term?
you're stating it like it is.
I talked to one professional biologist, and then I looked into it online, and there's no term for this that I could find. There's no explanation. And
Isn't
then
it just selective breeding?
yeah, you call it anything other than evolution, but selective breeding is evolution.
It seems like, because we always like try to refine species when we selectively breed them.
Sure.
Evolution seems like turning a bacteria into a human.
Well, evolution doesn't always necessarily result in something that is better than the previous generation.
It seems like it would make it more confusing to use evolution like what you're talking about. Like, hey, everybody, look, I evolved this Dalmatian from a less spotted Dalmatian.
Well, see, so have you ever seen those screensavers where they have those simulations where they have a bunch of little critters crawling around? There's like a red and a blue and whatever, and due to some random what's the word? Is it
Mutation?
stochastic? It's
I
a
don't know.
stochastic process or something like that. It's not stochastic. Anyway, it's some random process that they have certain creatures evolve over time, and you watch on the screensaver, and certain species, the red gets really powerful, and then the red overpowers the blue, and the blue dies off, but then the yellow takes over the red, whatever. That's kind of like this evolution process, but we have set the parameters for that evolution. And just like that, in nature, there are certain parameters that nature kind of sets for the evolution of a certain species in that environment, right? That's how evolution works. It's related to your environment. But rarely have I ever seen biologists factor humans into that equation of their environment. I just don't see that happen.
Okay.
Back to bacteria.
Pathogenic bacteria. Are you going to put bacteria on the list or pathogenic bacteria?
I'm putting pathogenic bacteria for all the dipshits.
Okay. That's not a dipshit
It
thing.
is.
What? Regular bacteria is great. They do more good than harm.
Dick, you brought in flight as a solution.
Yeah.
Right?
Flight.
Flight's great. Flight's
Yeah,
awesome.
of course.
Who doesn't like flight? But there's bad things about flight.
Like what? Is this going to
Planes-
be another
planes
one of your
crash.
9/11 speeches?
No. Listen. Have you ever heard of Allah?
I'll burn a Korean so fast you won't even see it coming, Maddox.
No, listen, man. There's bad things about flight. Planes crash all the time.
Yeah.
Airport security sucks. The fuel surcharges are terrible. Planes pollute way more than cars. Like by far, planes pollute more than cars. I didn't believe that actually. One of my friends told me that. And
Per capita? Per passenger?
Yes.
Huh.
Absolutely.
So you got 200
pollute.
people on a plane, that's more pollution than 200 cars?
Absolutely. It's more pollution than like 2,000 cars. It's a lot.
Good.
I looked into it.
Fuck the environment.
All right.
Go ahead with
no
your
need to prove at this point. Anyway, man, the CDC estimates that every year, roughly 1 in 6 Americans, or 48 million people, get sick, and 128,000 are hospitalized, and 3,000 die of foodborne illnesses. Dick, I just got a foodborne illness twice.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah, what'd you get?
All right, I want to hear your story.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I got it. Actually on the last day of shooting. I'm back from Vegas, by the way.
Oh.
I hadn't even mentioned that. Yeah, I'm done.
Great.
I'm done filming the first season of the game show, and I'm back. But the last day that we were there, we all went to this Chinese restaurant and had some food. Is that the Bellagio? All right, you fuckheads.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah, real fancy. We paid upwards of like, I don't know, $200 for 5 people for shitty Chinese food. It was just dim sum. And we all got food poisoning.
Oh.
All but one of us.
Everyone?
Everyone got food poisoning, except for one of us.
Did you write them?
No,
You
it
get
was
a free meal out of that.
Fuck it.
I'll write them.
I was done. I just wanted to get home. So we went back to the hotel room, and we were all going to take a little nap and then go out for drinks later, right?
Yeah.
And I come downstairs, like I wake up. This has never happened to me before, Dick. You know how sometimes you dream and you got to pee, and you start dreaming of pee, right?
Mm-hmm.
You dream of waterfalls and rivers and shit. Oh shit,
Yeah.
now I got to pee. You dream of all these things. This is the first time I've dreamed of pooing. Like I had this dream where I was like getting up to go to the bathroom, sitting down, shitting, and then I was like, all right, I'm done with this part, because I'm usually a little bit cognizant of my dreams. So I'm like, all right, I'm done dreaming this. And I get up from the bathroom and I go, and then I'm in the living room and I get up and I go to the bathroom again. I got to take another shit. Then I got to take another shit. And I got to take another shit. It was just a dream.
Dreaming about shitting over and over again?
It's just a dream where I got to get up and take a shit. And finally, I get up and I take a shit, and it's just like, it's almost like imagine if you had a junkyard. You know how junkyards, they have those little cranes that come down and pick up just a big pile of shit?
Yeah.
And then they let go and it just like kind of collapses. That's how I shit. It was just like everything came out at once, just awful.
Like a shredder.
Like a shredder with like lumpy oatmeal.
Okay.
That was made out of poop.
Okay.
That Sean's like in the grossest face. Anyway, man, we
You
all
got incepted about shitting.
Oh,
That's
shit,
what happened.
Shitception.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs and I met up with the producers and I said, guys, did you guys have food poisoning? And they're like, yeah, every single person had the exact same diarrhea. Food poisoning, really big problem.
How long did it go on?
For me, it was just once. But then
because food poisoning goes on for a long time because the
I had it
bacteria
all
keeps
weekend.
flourishing. It's like a 24-hour plus thing.
Yeah.
Well,
that was an upset stomach caused by maybe something a little wonky that you guys all
How much
ate,
hot
but-
sauce did you drink?
not a lot.
That's
I'll
your
tell you-
problem right there.
I'll tell you why, Sean. I've had diarrhea. I've had diarrhea plenty of times, and I'll tell you why this was absolutely food poisoning. And I think because I got it out of my system fast enough that it didn't affect me so much. But I'll tell you why it was food poisoning. Is because my stomach felt like there was heat. There was like it was on fire. Like that was definitely a sign of food poisoning. Like it absolutely felt like it was generating heat, which is a really bad sign.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, all better now. I hope. Anyway, dude, food poisoning, big problem. Millions of bacteria. This is from the health. Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. This is just for the dipshits. All right. Antibiotic.
The dipshits, though, like it's
They're such morons, dude.
it's not moronic to think that bacteria is good.
Well, there is good
You know
bacteria.
who you are because Maddox
Yeah.
will tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly, some bacteria is good. Some, like most flight is good, isn't it, Dick? Isn't
Yeah,
flight
so
mostly?
bacteria would be good. I'm saying it's not a bacteria without the pathogenic part is not bad.
Well, I'm saying it. I'm talking about the bad bacteria, the stuff that
Okay.
kills you. Clearly, I'm not meaning the fucking good bacteria. When I bring in death as a problem, clearly I'm not talking about euthanasia, you fuckheads.
I think
Jesus.
that's what makes the voters so smart. Is
No, they're
they
not.
look at things in a global. They are
No.
very smart.
No,
You
they're
can't
not.
look at that voting list and say that's not a good list. That's not reflective of people.
Oh, you bet your ass I can. There's a number of problems with voting, buddy. This is from the New York Times. Dick, you brought this problem in the superbugs, right?
Yeah, superbugs.
It says it says antibiotic-resistant infections lead to 23,000 deaths a year. Yeah, but this is interesting. In 2007, the CDC estimated that about 100,000 people died every year of infections they developed while in hospitals. The estimated deaths, this is from CDC, the estimated deaths associated with healthcare-associated infections in the U.S. hospitals were 98,000 as of 2002, I believe this report came out. And they said of these, 35,000 were for pneumonia. Pneumonia is a bacterial infection. 30,000 for bloodstream infections. Pneumonia is bacterial. 13,000 for urinary tract infections. Urinary tract infections result in 13,000 deaths per year. Did you know that, Dick?
No.
Have you ever had a girlfriend with urinary tract infection?
I assume most of them have.
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Because it goes into your kidneys, right? If you don't treat it.
Yeah, if you don't treat it. And a lot of girls, like, here's the thing: if you don't get up to take a leak, this can affect guys too, but it more affects.
Or if you put your finger over your pee hole, force it backward into your kidneys.
Yeah, I definitely felt my kidneys do something weird that day. Yeah, 13,000 for urinary tract infection, 8,000 for surgical site infections, and 11,000 for infections of other sites. These are just in hospitals, infections that occur in hospitals. It's one of the biggest killers in hospitals. It's just infections you get while you're there. But yeah, pneumonia is a nasty one, man. 35,000 deaths per year from pneumonia.
Worldwide?
Yeah. Well, no, this is according to the CDC, so I think it's just America. This is just America. Yeah, 35,000 in America alone, and yeah, this is U.S. hospitals. I checked.
Huh. It's a lot.
Yeah, man.
More than I thought.
Pneumonia is a huge killer, especially in old people. Well, vote up pneumonia, people.
Yeah.
As a solution.
So you got all diseases on there? All bacterial diseases?
Yep, brought in every single one. That's my problem, Dick. Bacterial infections, pathogenic bacteria, the bad bacteria, you fucking idiots.
It's not idiotic.
You Luddites, you preschoolers. Hey, Dick, by flight, do you mean flight crashes?
Yeah.
By flight, do you mean long lines at the airport? Vote down flight.
Are you just mad about death?
Yeah,
right.
People are idiots.
You got anything else on bacteria?
I
got any more
bunch,
stories
man.
about shitting in Vegas or something like that?
Diarrhea story. I got food poisoning yesterday too, actually. Yeah, I got food poisoning. I was at a wedding, and so I ate a bunch of food. It's good food. I liked it, and then I immediately got diarrhea. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and I thought, well, I don't know, this could be food poisoning, could be whatever. It was food poisoning again.
I don't think that's food poisoning.
No, I think you finally reached that age where you actually have to watch what you eat a little bit, or you might shit yourself.
Food poisoning
Fuck
is
you,
like...
Sean, that's slander. I will sue you. I will sue you. I will sue the shit out of you.
Watch out, man.
You won't have to get food poisoning.
You get stuck in traffic one time, man, you will end up cleaning the car for like a couple hours at least.
Oh, that's happened to me.
No way, really?
A couple times. Yeah, I've shit my pants in the car.
Dick, how do you shit your pants so much?
I'll just bring in shitting your pants. That's my problem.
As your problem?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Well, hold on, Dick. Don't you have to sleep before you shit your pants sometimes?
What do you mean?
Don't you get up sometimes to shit your pants while you're sleeping?
I have shit my pants in my sleep. And in that, if I were to do it again, I would replace my mattress with a Casper mattress, because today's episode is brought to you by Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/biggest and using promo code biggest. Buying a Casper mattress is completely risk-free.
Yeah.
I don't think it covers shitting in the bed.
They have a True Coat option, I think.
So, you want to know something? When did I tell you guys this story? When I bought my most recent bed, they had this liner option, and I'm like, oh, does it? And he's like, oh, you could do anything. You could pour water on this thing, and it won't soak through it. I'm like, well, can you throw up on it? And he started laughing, and I was like, no, that's a real question. I'm not going to get it if the answer is no. Like, consult your research material, please.
Because this is happening with you or without you.
Yeah. An obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. Just the right sink, just the right bounce. You can attest to that.
Oh,
right,
yeah, it's the right bounce, baby.
Two technologies, latex foam and memory foam, come together for better nights and better days. Risk-free trial and return policy. Try sleeping on a Casper mattress for 100 days with free delivery and painless returns. We had a guy, a listener, bought one. And he says, got the mattress, pretty cool. After I opened it, I realized that I don't have a box spring, too.
Yeah.
So,
You don't need it.
Okay, you don't need it. I was going to ask you, because you also don't have a box spring
Yeah.
with yours.
No, don't get a box spring, guys. Here's the best way to sleep, especially if you live in a climate that's warm. If you live any place that's warm, temperate, whatever, you don't get a box spring, because a box spring is just going to inhibit the flow of air around your mattress.
Oh, really?
So, absolutely. Yeah, and in fact, I would say in cold climates, too, what you do is you get a bed with slats on it, and then you just put the mattress right on top of the slats. And anytime you want to change the mattress, you don't have to buy a new box spring. It saves you money. You're cooler in the summertime. You're warmer in the wintertime if you get some of the good circulation going underneath your bed. Yeah, it's great, man. Get a bed with slats. It's way easier to control the temperature.
Okay, well, Anthony Lopez, there you go. It's not a problem that you don't have a box spring. Just figure your fucking bed out.
Yeah,
get some
figure
slats,
your life
get it
out.
off the floor. Don't be sleeping with mattresses on the floor. There's never an okay time for that.
I've dated so many girls who just had mattresses on floors.
Oh, no, that's bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. The mattress is great. It's good for banging, Dick.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's waterproof, too.
I wonder about those memory foam mattresses. Like, if it will change the way you bang on them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never had one.
The memory foam, they're great, dude. Oh, they're great. You know what the problem is with a bed with springs when it comes to banging?
Okay.
Is that there's too much motion. The
Too
whole
much
bed,
motion.
Yeah, the whole bed is just kind of like swaying, and sometimes the bed gets out of rhythm with you. Like the bed's doing its own thing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bed, I'm
I see
doing
what you're
this
saying.
thing, yeah.
You got the bed working against you. You
Yeah.
got her working against you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fuck here. Both of you. I got it from both sides. I get what you're saying.
No, man, the mattress
Would
is
you
great.
both just leave so I can do this right?
Get out of here. I'm going into the bathtub.
No, the bed is great, man. It gives you just the right support, imagine imagine if an asteroid was going to hit the planet Earth, right? But
Okay.
instead of hitting a bunch of like loosey goosey sand, it hit a bunch of Play-Doh.
A bedrock.
Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like Play-Doh, like it's gonna really set.
Oh, like thud.
Yeah, like
It's
thud.
in there.
You
Okay.
want a dull thud instead of a wishy-washy wobbly. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Good mattress. What's the code, Dick?
Casper.com/biggest. Use promo code biggest. There you go.
Thank you
This
for
is-
supporting us, and thank you for NASA
This
for
is turning
inventing that.
into an infomercial. Okay, I'll go with this problem then. Shitting in your pants. It's a
Okay.
big fucking problem.
All right.
Right?
Like for some people.
I mean, probably a lot of people.
Okay.
Right?
You have
Babies especially.
So yeah, it's we kind of teased this earlier, but
Well, I
you
said
have
I was-
so many pants shitting stories. Why?
It's a mix of alcohol and overconfidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. That is exactly it.
Yeah, that's why.
That's exactly.
And also because the digestive system is just poorly designed. You know, I don't know. It needs to be tighter. Like
Well,
everything needs to work a little better.
But it's only you and one other person I know who shits their pants all the time, and the other person has digestive issues. I know for a fact he has digestive issues. You, as
I
far
make
as I
my
know,
own
don't.
digestive issues.
Yeah, I guess alcohol plays into that a lot.
So I said I would tell the story of the time at the continuing story when I pooped in my dad's pants.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, let's hear that story.
Yeah, I'd been drinking a fair amount of whiskey, and some of it must have been bad because it was causing me to have a lot of stomach issues.
Yeah.
Right. So I was over at I've already told this story. I was over at my parents' house. I happened to be wearing some of my dad's underpants.
How does whiskey go bad?
Yeah.
It just does. You know, you can never tell, but every once in a while you run into some bad whiskey that makes you shit in your pants.
Okay.
It's not true.
Oh,
It's just a
yeah,
joke.
I didn't think so.
It doesn't go bad at all.
Yeah, it just
So
fermented.
I'm wearing my dad's.
Or no, whiskey's distilled.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, go on.
Wearing my dad's underpants. A little bit of poop slips past the goalie. Right. All of a sudden I got like confetti launcher of poop in my dad's underpants. Right. So I run out, clean them out. I already told this story. Everybody already knows this
Well,
story.
let's refresher because that was several episodes ago.
Yeah, so I clean them up. I clean them up by hand at my parents' house in the spare room because I want to sneak it by them. Like I don't want to admit to my dad that I pooped in his underpants.
His son,
Right?
his only son.
No dad
Yeah.
wants to. I just want to go, Dad, I'm gay. I gotta get out of here. Don't worry about your underpants. Right?
Yeah,
That's better.
He wants to hear that. Hey, Dad, I graduated college. Hey, Dad, I'm a doctor. Hey, Dad, I'm getting married. Your son, his only son. Hey, Dad.
I pooped in your underpants that you loaned me. Sorry about that.
Did you use the sink to clean them up?
Yeah. I use the sink
And
in
his,
the
and
toilet.
his toothbrush, right?
Oh, fuck you.
Do you have one of those like washboards, like those old timey washboards? You're doing laundry in the sink?
No. When you poop your pants a lot, what you do is you get a little soap on there, you fold the poop part over, and then you kind of use your knuckles to rub it. What? That's how you. It's kind of like a washboard.
That was
it's kind of like a washboard.
That was such a rich description. Like I totally pictured you getting poop in your knuckle hairs.
Well, you're talking about what are you? A magnetic trash moving machine in a dump yard. Fuck you.
Dick, don't worry about my hypocrisy.
So I do this all.
It's called Dingleberry Knuckles.
Really?
I do have a bit of hair on my knuckles.
Oh, gross.
So I managed to get away with this, right? I managed to and I throw the underpants in the dryer, and I'm like, oh, done. Great. I totally got away with it. And I just don't wear any underpants because I don't want to ask for another pair of underwear to borrow. Like, Dad, can I get another pair? Like, those displeased me. I want another pair. He's going to go, what the fuck are you talking about? I just lent you underpants. Why do you need more underpants? So I just didn't wear underpants the rest of the time. So I managed to sneak this by them, right?
Yeah.
Until I told the story on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Uh-oh.
So my mom calls me and says, "Oh, Dick, I have kind of a funny story." And with my mom, that means it's an extremely hilarious story, but it's at someone's expense because she doesn't want to feel too good laughing at someone's discomfort, right? Like
so she wants an accomplice, a laughing accomplice?
Well, she knows how funny it is because
Okay.
she's calling me to tell me about it.
Yeah.
And she knows to say it's funny, but she can't admit that it's too funny.
Sure.
You know, it's like,
Sure.
yeah, she's just very, very, very sweet. Like, she won't say, wait till you hear this hilarious story about someone getting so fucked up and looking stupid. She'll say, like, oh, it's pretty funny, but not too, I don't think it's too funny. You understand that I find this humor distasteful, but it's something you would like, right? That's the setup to the story. It's like, okay, tell me. So her and my dad are driving to Arizona. They're driving from LA to like deep Globe, Arizona, middle of nowhere.
Why were they going there?
For his mom's birthday party.
Oh.
It's like her 80-something night birthday party. So they're driving to her house in the middle of nowhere, and they put on the podcast.
Uh-oh.
And the story of me shitting in my dad's underpants comes up, and he goes, "What the fuck? What the hell was that?" Rewind. So he rewinds it. My mom says he rewinds it to realize. He goes, "What the fuck is this? He's shitting in my underpants?" So now she says for the rest of the trip, he's wriggling in his seat. Because he goes, I think these are the underpants. I think these are the underpants he shit in. So he's like, because he doesn't know. Like, as far as he can tell, I washed them and then threw them back in with the regular clothes. But he knows I did a shitty job.
Yeah.
Right? Because especially the way I told it too is shitty. So he's like, I think I can feel it. He's having like phantom poop
poops.
stains. Yeah, because now he's imagining me just cramming them back in the drawer, and poor him puts them on, and there's phantom poop residue on it.
Yeah, because it feels itchy, and you give him phantom skid marks, man.
Skid marks. So now it's in his mind, and my mom's laughing because she's just can't admit that this is why it's funny. She said this is the funniest thing she's ever seen because he's just bouncing and wriggling in his seat while they're driving for 7 hours into the middle of the desert.
And it's gonna get hot in the desert, and it's sweaty. You get that butt crack sweat going.
So as he's sweating, he's like, it's just rejuvenating the leftover poop, right? So he's in a nightmare scenario. He's got God knows how long till they get to this hotel in the middle of nowhere. And she's like, just calm down. Statistically, those odds are those are probably not the underwear he pooped in, right? There's 20 pairs of underwear. Unlikely that you would have grabbed the ones he just pooped in, right?
You mean the ones on top?
Right. So, but this is even worse. So so my mom says that when he gets to the hotel, now he's going through all the underwear. He's like, does this have the poop in it? Does this have the poop in it? Does it smell this? Does this smell like this? Going through all his clean underwear, freaking out. He's like, well, I'm just not gonna wear this fucking underwear then. Like, this is,
you're welcome, Mom.
This is what he's going through. Going to his mother's surprise birthday party. Like his 80-year-old mother's surprise birthday party, I ruined because he constantly thought he had my poop in all of his underpants. So my mom calls me to tell me the story, and I'm laughing because someone's inconvenienced and miserable.
Yeah.
And I said, well, the funny thing is,
I took those underwear home after I did that, to wash them again.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to leave them behind. So this whole time, I had the poop underwear the entire time.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So you just let your poor dad suffer for nothing.
Well, I didn't even know about it. I found out about it afterwards.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah,
because
pooping
you
in your
know, I
pants.
can picture your dad. Your dad has a very emotive face. Like you can tell, what he's thinking. You know, he's one of those guys where you know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Like he's just very emotive. I can imagine him sitting there with a piece of cake, like alone with all the. With all the kids at the party playing and everything. Everyone's having a good time in the background. Your dad's sullen, and he's just sitting there like digging a piece of the cake and putting it in his mouth. All sad. Thinking about the poop in his pants.
Motherfucker, is this poop or not?
Oh, your poor dad.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Pooping in your pants is a big problem, and it happens to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, no, it doesn't. Hold on. No, it doesn't. Fucking idiot. No, it doesn't happen to everybody. Again, you're one of two people I know who shits their pants. I hadn't shit my pants, Dick, since I was like 12 years old.
No.
Yeah, until recently, it did happen.
When did it happen recently?
Well, I'll get to that. But the last time it happened before was when I was 12, and I came home from school, and my mom was gone, and I didn't have a key to the house. So I was stuck outside, and I was just running around the house. I had really bad diarrhea, and I was running around the house, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna shit my pants. And finally, I decided to pop a squat, and it was fall time, so I just made a nice pile of leaves to poop in, which was a terrible idea in retrospect, because I remember the leaves scraping my butt, and I thought, oh, why did I make a pile to poop on?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's stupid.
Dig a hole. That's the instinct.
Well, yeah, I'm not a cat. So I pooped, and then I looked around.
build a mound so it's as close to my ass as possible.
I don't want it to get hurt.
I'm a kid,
Falling
Sean.
into a hole.
Look, I'm a scientist. I didn't know this was my first time. I'm experimenting.
What was the
okay?
logic behind the leaves?
I decided I should have something to poop on.
That wasn't the ground?
Yeah, just a pile of something. I should poop on something, I guess. So I pooped, and then I looked around for something to wipe my ass with. I just grabbed a handful of leaves, but these are fall leaves. So they're really crisp and crunchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just...
Oh my god.
I just started wiping my hands with crunchy leaves. And then I looked down at my hand, and it's just covered in shit and leaves. And then it's all over my ass, too. So I pull up my pants, and I...
Are you really gonna gag, Sean?
Sean's gagging.
What's it? Is it all over the hand, or is it all over the butt?
Sean's dry heaving.
It's the entire visual.
The entire visual?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a little boy, too. Does that help?
No.
Think of my young bum, Sean. Oh, Sean. Oh my God, Sean might throw up. Sean might throw up on the equipment.
I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Just thinking about the Pope.
So anyway, I pooped, and I just kind of did a crab walk until my mom got home, and I told her what happened. She was mad at me.
Yeah.
Mad at me, I would assume, for not being able to get into the house. She didn't think of a plan.
But that wasn't in your pants. You didn't shit in your pants.
Yeah, that wasn't in your pants.
Oh,
you just
good.
shit on a bunch of leaves.
Yeah, but when I pulled the pants up, there was shit in my pants. Like, I
No,
don't
that
think-
doesn't count.
Doesn't count?
No,
Okay.
no.
No, that's by proxy.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Fine, then erase the last like 3 minutes of this episode, guys. Okay, but it did happen recently, and I was so ashamed of myself because I am like 10 for 10 every time I have a fart that might be like a diarrhea fart, you know, and if I suspect that my fart's going to turn into a shit, I will get up and go to the bathroom because I don't want the worst thing that can happen to a fart is to be promoted to a shit. When you don't expect it.
Yeah.
When you're shitting, that's funny. You're like, oh, I thought that was gonna be a fart. Now it's a poop.
Sure.
But when you're sitting there playing video games, it's trouble.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there one day. It was one of those like, could be either one. Could be a fart. Could be a poop. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice. This one.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
My confidence is wearing off on you.
I rolled the dice and I farted and a little bit came out. And I thought, oh no, that's trouble. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. So I get up and sure enough, did a safety wipe and oh boy, it was like
you caught it then.
Yeah, it was like Bush's baked beans. You know the sauce that it comes in. It's like kind of runny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's making that face. I'm getting a little bit of a little tinge of vomit in my throat too. I should stop there. But yeah, man, that was the only time it's happened in recent memory.
You didn't go out though.
With my poop?
Yeah.
Where would I go?
Well, I've done that recently.
You went out with
Yeah,
poop
that
in your pants?
That happened to me. I went shopping.
Oh my god, Dick! Why would you go shopping with shit in your pants?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't do a safety wipe.
Oh, you didn't do a safety wipe?
No. I just figured it wasn't poop.
You farted. It was poop.
Yeah. And I went out like that.
Walking around. Bunch of shit in your pants.
Yeah. All right. What's our time like? I was gonna bring in something else, but do you want to go?
I got a quick one. Well,
right.
what? Do you want to go?
I was gonna bring in breast cancer, but I guess I could do that next week.
You want to cram in breast cancer in 6 minutes? No. See, do it for next week. I got one, Dick. I got a quick one. So last week I brought in friend-zoned pussies. Right. Big problem. Because generally, when you're friend-zoned, you put yourself there.
It's funny. That one got a lot of positive and negative responses. As some problems do. It's interesting to see which. Like,
what were some of the negative ones?
A lot of people identified with it, but then a lot of people were like, I don't want to fucking hear you also talk about friend-zoning. I don't know.
I saw some people feel like that they felt like friend-zoned victims. They felt like they were friend-zoned by people unfairly. Generally not, guys. Generally not. If you another thing, I really want to hammer this point home. Last time you said you believe that either someone will or won't hook up with you, or will or won't be in a relationship with you. But I'm of the firm belief that.
What did I say?
You believe that either people will or won't hook up with you, or they will or won't.
Yeah. It's not like getting laid as in Schrodinger's cat. Like it doesn't exist in two. They either will or they won't.
No, but that sounds like it's a 50-50. It's not always. Like, for example...
You mean it won't evolve. Or he means it won't evolve. Right? Like, it's going to happen or it's not, and that's never going to change.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't evolve.
You're saying it could evolve.
I'm saying there are things you can do to improve your chances. Everything comes down to odds.
Yeah.
And for example, when I was... just use me as an example. When I was more overweight, I attracted different girls, and I attracted fewer girls. And then I took care of myself a little bit more, and then suddenly my odds improved with different women. Like, there are things you can do.
What kind of women did you attract when you were overweight?
When I was overweight, it was interesting. I attracted curvy women. Indian women have always been into me. Yeah, Indian women really like me. But anyway, so Dick, I brought in friend zone pussies last time. But there's another problem related to friend zone.
Yeah.
And that's friend zone opportunists.
Yeah. Fuck
okay. That. Yeah. Because this is where I think the people who had a problem with friend zone pussies, my problem of friend zone pussies, the people who had an issue with it were the people who have been taken advantage of by friend zone opportunists. And let me explain what this is. I know this girl, this friend of mine, who is very attractive, and for the longest time, she had guys who would fawn after her. And she knew these guys were fawning after her. And she had no interest in them. But one day, she calls me up and she says, hey, I'm moving to this new apartment. And I need some help. So she said that she was going to ask some guys in her dorm to help her. And I said, well, wait, what kind of guys? And they said, well, you like him? you asked me to pick something up for you or to help you out with something, I would do it because we're friends.
Yeah.
But if a woman did that to me who I was interested in, and I didn't communicate that to her, that would be dishonest of me to help her because I'm only doing so because I want to get down her pants, right? That's a problem. And that's when I have put myself in a friend zone, and that's when the woman, if she knows that and she takes advantage, she's a friend zone opportunist. They're both They're both big problems, I think. But I think the friend zone pussies is a bigger problem, definitely.
Okay.
So vote up friend zone pussies.
Yeah, I'm with you on the moving thing.
Yeah, man, it's just a shitty thing. I see it happen all the time. Women know guys are after them, and they know that they're attractive. And you know what the most nefarious example of this, and it happens all the fucking time, is hot girls in a bar. Hot girls in a bar go out specifically. I've dated girls who will get all gussied up, and they'll go out to a bar together, and they'll say, and they're all broke. So they'll say, I'll say, well, what are you doing going to a bar? And they said, well, guys will buy drinks for us.
Yeah, they expect it.
Yeah, but when guys buy drinks for you, do you think it's free? Like, do you think that there's an expectation? You want to eliminate that expectation. It's creepy that guys buy drinks for girls with that expectation, and it's pathetic. But don't put yourself in that position either. You know guys want that, so why would you take advantage?
You know, I buy a lot of drinks when I go out, right?
Yeah.
I do that. I like buying drinks for people. Everybody gets smashed.
Yeah.
Let's have a good time. I'll buy drinks for guys, too.
You do, yeah.
I remember this one example where I was up at the bar ordering this little gaggle of, little murder of girls was behind me.
Murder of
And they're giggling or whatever, and I'm just making conversation. What's going on? What are you doing here? It was one of their birthdays.
Yeah.
Maybe even two. I don't know. One of their birthdays. It was like, oh, birthday. Shots. Let's get some shots.
Yeah.
Line up a bunch of shots.
Yeah.
Because I think at some point, like, buying a drink means a lot more than it should. It's like a $5 drink, you know? At some point in your life, like that point in their life, these awful women you're talking about, when they're going out, like a drink validates their self-worth. Like, oh yeah, I got this guy to spend $8 on me.
Yeah.
Right? But at this point in my life, I'm like, I don't really care. Like, let's line up some shots. So they grab them, and they're like, oh yeah, shot, and then just walked away.
Uh-huh.
That's like, it was a very weird it felt very transactional.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
Yep.
Because I'm not used to that.
You encountered exactly those girls I was describing. The ones who go out to drink and they know that some poor schmuck at the bar.
In this case, me.
In this case, you. Which you didn't have that intention, which makes it even worse for you because you weren't buying those drinks necessarily to get down anyone's pants. You were just buying it because, as you said, you wanted everyone smashed, right?
Yeah, I like getting people drunk, and especially for birthday shots. Yeah. I always buy birthday shots.
And you were being generous and fun and outgoing. Those girls took advantage, and they assumed that you're one of those chumps who buys drinks for girls pathetically at a bar because their company is so valuable that you're gonna sit there and just buy booze for them and shower them with gifts like they're so fucking interesting that you have to pay them to be there. Fuck that. Those are friend zone opportunists right there. Those are the type of women I'm talking about.
I hate them enough to remember it.
It is awful, right? It makes you feel shitty. It makes you feel used. It makes you feel like, well, you know what? At least turn around and say thanks, ladies.
Yeah.
Get to know me a little bit. But that's
a
weird
the projection. Like they think I'm after something by just by spending my time doing that, like buying them a drink. It's like a weird feeling of like, oh yeah, well you didn't earn it yet. Like, oh, okay, don't worry.
Well, that is the unspoken social contract, dude. There is a social contract. Believe it or not, there's a book called I believe it's called Influence, or the Power of Persuasion. I think is the subtitle. It's called Influence: The Power of Persuasion. I think is the name of the book. And in it talked about these unspoken social contracts and how you shouldn't accept gifts for free. You shouldn't accept anything for free because there is no such thing really as free in our society and culture. Because with every free thing, there is some kind of expectation. Almost always, there's very few exceptions of getting something for free. This goes out to I'm talking to you ladies. I'm talking to you men. There is no such thing really as free because there is some kind of expectation. Generally speaking. Of course, there is exceptions to these rules.
I don't think there should be an exception to that one. I really don't. Like, if someone gives you something, you should have if you don't take it, if you do take it, you should have the grace to sit around and talk to them, at least say thank you.
Well, this phenomenon, Dick, of feeling like that there's an expectation there is so deeply ingrained. It may even be instinctual, because certain species have this ingrained in them too. I think vampire bats have some kind of social behavior that they exhibit.
Women and vampire bats, both bloodsuckers.
Yeah, suck you dry. But vampire bats, I think, I think it's a type of fruit bat that shares food with each other.
Is that like a gay vampire bat?
Yeah. I want to suck your blood and then some.
Hey, happy National Coming Out Day, guys.
Is it?
Was, yeah. Congrats. Good job. Nailed it. Anyway, that's kind of like a social behavior, and it's actually shown that in certain cultures and societies in animal kingdoms too, that some type of giving and taking and receiving is beneficial to the survival of the species. So this social contract may be deeply ingrained in our instincts, that you give something, you get something, and that's why I generally don't accept free samples when I'm in stores, because this is in the book. It's an example in the book. They said that free samples work because people feel guilty not buying something. Generally speaking, they feel guilty not buying something. And it's a really fascinating book. I highly recommend
this
checking
could
it
be
out.
a really great way to pick up girls.
Oh boy.
Just give her no. Do you remember when you and I went out for Halloween that year,
Yeah.
and you had that pail of Dum Dum lollipops?
Yeah.
And I was giving them out to like just walking up to girls.
Yeah.
Hey, here you go.
Yeah.
They their attitudes changed 100% from versus when I would just walk up and talk to them.
Yeah,
because they
that's
took
true.
a free sucker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That
So
was
the
a-
future is pickup artists walking
Oh,
around with
boy.
handfuls of candy in their pockets.
I did that as part of my costume, Dick. No nefarious intention behind it, but I did notice that a lot of girls were stopping to talk and like hang out and whatever.
Yeah.
My costume was Grim Reaper, the party creeper, and I dressed up as a Grim Reaper, and I had a bucket of candy around my waist, like where my crotch would be. I'm
Right.
like, reach in, grab a piece of candy, maybe you'll get something more. Maybe you'll get a surprise. But it totally worked. That was an interesting unintentional experiment. What are you laughing at, Sean?
Your subtlety and nuance is staggering.
Yeah, isn't it?
Reach in. There's something you can suck on. there's a real big dum dum down there.
Looks like a Toblerone. Alright. You wrap it up?
Yeah, man. How many licks to the center?
No one's ever made it without biting.
Anyway, Dick, my problems this week are pathogenic bacteria.
Good.
And
You got learned. You got served. Everybody changed the way you brought that in. You would have just brought in bacteria.
great.
Fans taught you a lesson, though.
Yeah,
you can't
good.
get away with that kind of shit on this show.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Pathogenic bacteria and friend zone opportunists.
And my problem was shitting in your pants. See you next Tuesday.
Hey, this message is for that stupid fucking asshole who called in and insulted Dick's grammar. Fuck you. You probably jerk off in your mouth in the shower. Dick, your grammar's fucking fine. I can understand what you're saying. If he can't, he needs to get his ears checked because there's too much dick in it. Fuck him. You're pretty cool.
Fuck that guy.
Wow, that was a really impassioned defense of Dick's shitty grammar.
My grammar is fine. I got his stats for you. Here's more friend zone shit. You want advice on getting out of the friend zone?
Oh, let's hear
This
it.
guy's got some good advice.
Never been in it.
You want to know how to get a girl out of the friend zone?
Creepy.
Put a finger in her butt. And pull 'em right out of the friend zone. Like a fucking fish out of water on a fishing line.
Fish out of water.
Oh my god, what a
Wow.
creep. That's a creep. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh,
If
that's
you're-
true.
If you're hanging out with a chick, your finger finds its way into her butt, then you're definitely not gonna be in the friend zone anymore.
Out of the friend zone and into a police lineup.
That's
Oh well,
assault,
no,
brother.
that's assault. I meant like in a date, man.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You never know until you're arrested.
Chicks are begging me for it.
A finger up their ass?
Oh, all the chicks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't find they usually beg for it.
Oh, they like it, man.
Oh, here we go.
Max, this is Zach from North Carolina. While listening to your death rattle about self-checkout lanes, I just gotta say,
Death rattle.
I was playing it in my car while my girlfriend and I were running some errands, and she turns to me and she says, I mean, I've never had any problem with self-checkout lanes. And she's a woman. Alright?
Wow.
Man up. Alright, we get deli, food, meats, vegetables, produce, shit we gotta weigh, shit we gotta check our IDs for all the time, and I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the factor here is you, buddy. Alright? And still, Dick, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I've gone to grocery stores where I was making a big pasta dinner for a bunch of friends. I was buying like 10 tomato cans. Those fucking self-checkout lanes, I have to scan each one individually, and they put in a delay in there so that you don't double scan because they know that most consumers are idiots. So they put in a delay in there. You have to scan one, put it in the bagging area, pick up the other one, scan one, put it in the bagging area. You can't even hold two at a time. It's fucking awful. And then I went in there one time, I was making pizza, so I just needed a packet of yeast. Went down the aisle, picked up my packet. Oh, one item, here we go. Self-checkout lane, that's what you're made for. Scan it, put it in the bagging area. Well, guess what? I did. It's too fucking light. The scale won't pick it up. I fucking hate those things. They always break down. I don't believe you're buying produce, you motherfucker. You're buying Monster energy drinks, you dipshit.
You guys, self-checkout lanes are to urinals what human-run checkout lanes are to toilets.
That's a good point.
Done.
That's it.
What?
Yeah, like the urinal is nice and fast. You get in there, you don't have to take your whole pants down.
Yeah.
You just pee and then you get it over with.
Yeah.
That's the bathroom version of a self-checkout lane.
No.
No?
No.
You'd rather have all stalls? So you gotta go in there.
It makes absolutely no difference. If I'm peeing, it makes absolutely no difference. Why? In fact, yeah, I would prefer all stalls because if you do have to go to the bathroom, that gives you more opportunities to do so. If you have to take drop a deuce. That's a shitty analogy.
Huh?
That's exactly the type of person who uses a self-checkout lane. A dumb motherfucker. He's buying energy drinks. He's buying, I'm sure he's just buying Red Bull and fucking Cheetos and Doritos and going home to his girlfriend. Okay, his real smart girlfriend. I'm sure she's a battle axe with hairy legs. She's exactly the type of chick you see at Burning Man.
Today's show is brought to you by Harry's. Please visit harrys.com and use the promo code BIGGESTPROBLEM to save $5 off your first purchase. Welcome to the biggest problem in the universe, the show where we discuss every problem in the universe, from deadbeats to sour notes. With over 4 million downloads, this is the only show where you decide what should or shouldn't be on the big list of problems. I am Maddox. With me is Dick.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
And Sean, our audio engineer.
Hey, I'm gonna go back and listen to that and time how long it takes me to get that joke because I was laughing. I thought something was funny. You know, you just get it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute. And that's when I went, So that's how stupid I am.
Wait for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came to me while I was driving. I thought it was a perfect analog to last week's Bad People and Bad Apples. Or what was, this is it.
I do love and hate how this show sinks into my brain while I'm driving around and like working and showering and working out and like folding clothes, doing basically fucking everything in my life. I'm sitting there having an imaginary argument about shit that I'm sitting there asking myself, why do I care about this? Why am I having an imaginary argument about apples?
in my head to prepare for next week. Like, because I read a comment on the website. I'm like, fuck, if that asshole brings this in, I gotta have something to say about what I said about apples.
That's what happens. That's what happens on this show, man. Yeah, it rings in my head. It rings in my head. I wake up at night. It's fucking awful. This is the sacrifice we do for you guys. You unappreciative, well, for the most part.
Very appreciative.
Yeah, somewhat appreciative. You somewhat appreciative dullards. Yeah. And speaking of,
yeah,
I thought of a new contest stick.
Oh, okay.
Because last time we got in that whole apple debate at the top of the show.
Right.
I want to bring in an apple taste test.
Oh, I was going to suggest that for season 2.
Oh, sure. Then let's do it for season 2.
Yeah.
I want to do an apple taste test, and I want to see if you bozos... Look, I know you can tell the difference between the taste of apples. Apples taste pretty different, especially Granny Smith versus anything else. It's a very tart apple.
That's the only one I can tell the difference, though, reliably. Like, I don't know what the other ones taste like.
Well, I don't expect you to name the apple that you're tasting, but I want you to rank them from the tastiest to least.
You're going to be in on this, too, though. Somebody, Candy Randy, I'm not allowed to say his last name anymore, so I'm going to call him Candy Randy, the producer of the show and your manager.
Yeah.
He's going to set it up. So you're in on this, too, motherfucker.
Fine with me.
I also, because we always have these challenges and these bets, right? And we never know what to bet on them. It's hard to think of a bet on the spot. I thought of something. I'm going to float this by you.
What do you got?
How about the loser has to read a 250-word apology written on the show, written by the other person.
Dick. Correct. That's a great bet. I like that a lot. All right, you're on.
And it never gets old.
There we go.
Because you can write the most horrible things.
There we go. That's fucking fantastic. Now we have a challenge. Okay, now it's a game. Now it's on. All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
Does that mean I can bring this back?
You mother. What the fuck is it? What is this, a full version?
This was on the voicemail.
The recorder version.
Somebody called, said nothing, and just played the Titanic on a recorder.
What an asshole.
Perfectly, though. Perfectly.
Yeah, it's the recorder version of it. What a piece of shit. Garbage. Now, here's the thing. We have to decide, since there are 3 of us playing, me, you, and Sean, so who's the winner and who's the loser in that instance?
I don't think Sean should have to read an apology.
Okay.
Because I don't think he'll really care.
Fine. So between the 2 of us.
Yeah.
But
No. What the fuck?
Today's show is brought to you by Harry. 1911 pistol shooting, one German over here. Or if you're in Germany listening to this podcast, you know, the opposite, an American.
Yeah.
And then they're just feeling so awesome and manly that they just shit their pants to be cool like me when I shit in my pants.
Oh, yeah. I bet the German listeners right now love that tail end of that story. Oh, yeah, now we're shooting Americans? That's cool.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
They have different heroes than us.
Fine. I almost shit my pants. This was a real close pants shitting story. One time I was snowboarding with friend of the show, Roger Barr, who's going to be on for our Halloween. He's going to be on for our Halloween episode. I was snowboarding with him, and I was getting a little cocky. It was getting late at night. The sun was going down. The slopes turned icy. And I got too much speed, and I slipped, and I landed right in my fucking tailbone, man. It's like a pin. If you pointed a pin down, a needle down into the snow, couldn't have been more precise than the tailbone, the way my tailbone hit that ice. And I hit so hard. Yeah, my coccyx got hurt really bad. I got a bruised coccyx. Coccyx, yeah.
Oh, like 6 cocks, coccyx.
Yeah, got it. I got a real bruised coccyx. So I got up on my hands and knees. And Roger comes up to me.
He screamed, ow, my ass.
Yeah, basically. But Roger came up to me and goes, hey, man, you all right? And he's about to put his hand on my shoulder. And I go, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Because it hit so hard. I was like a Prius, you know, where you see the battery and all the energy is kind of like it's moving through the engine block, and you can see where it's focused. It's sending the energy. I was focusing all my energy and strength into not shitting my pants.
Yeah.
I was literally concentrating on my butthole and picturing it shut.
Who's that Dragon Ball guy?
Oh man, it took every ounce.
Hey, I'm coming.
I came so close to shitting. I could feel my butt muscles quivering, the sphincter.
I don't know what it's called. I don't know anything about the butt.
Yeah, it's a sphincter.
I don't know anything about men's butts.
Dick.
So you didn't. You didn't.
I didn't.
You got
That was
it
real
right
close,
with
man.
it. Okay.
I would not want to.
Oh, well, good for you.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have a big steaming pile of shit in my
Good
snow
for you.
pants. They're snow pants, not shit pants. Dick, speaking of things you don't know about, I got a comment, I got an email from Cody Krause. He says, Maddox, this is my first time writing into the show, and originally told myself I never would because both you and Dick are out to make outrageous comments. But going forward...
What's outrageous that we say?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, find one.
Yeah. Everything on the show is just right of reasonable. All right. But going forward, can you please prevent Dick from discussing the U.S. legal system?
Oh, God, what did I do now?
His childlike logic and reasoning is both saddening and baffling. That's an interesting combination.
Good. That's a good combination.
He's saddened and...
Sad and confused.
Yeah, confused.
That's right where I want you.
Yeah,
Why is he doing this to me?
He's sullen.
Shut up or I'll do it again.
He's sullen and bewildered. It almost pains me to listen to Dick attempt to mischaracterize the powers of the Supreme Court, the duties of an elected official, and how the Constitution works. If Dick wants to talk about rights and the history of marriage in America, he should probably open a book. If you want to do a new segment called Dick's Legal Corner, where Dick's elementary understanding of law is disproved, just look at this. And he quotes a whole bunch of
things I fucked up.
Yeah, court cases.
Yeah.
So that set precedents for why it's a bad idea for states to set their own laws. Lawrence versus Texas, the Supreme Court prevents the states from interfering with the bedrooms of consenting American adults. Loving versus Virginia, Supreme Court overturns the law of states that prevent interracial couples from marrying. And MLG versus SLJ, basically the Supreme Court shields more rights of Americans under the 14th Amendment, etc., etc.
Well, you know, it's real easy to sound smart when you're at your computer and you've got all night to write an email. But when you're on here running your mouth, that asshole couldn't leave that guy couldn't leave a 1 minute long voicemail without sounding like a prick. So fuck you. What was his name?
His name is Cody Krause.
Cody Krause. Yeah. Say that to my voicemail, you son of a bitch. I don't believe I don't believe that people are smart just because they can write a smart sounding email.
No.
Okay? You know what I'm talking about?
What if he's deaf, dickhead?
What if he's deaf?
Yeah.
That would be I doubly want to hear that voicemail then.
Oh, eat shit, man. That guy, I bet that guy's deaf. He's a real smart deaf guy. There you go. Bravo, Cody. I'm in your side.
I got a comment from Dan Merrick. I bought a Red Delicious apple last night to see if they are back. They are not back. They are mealy as fuck. Yeah,
You're mealy as fuck, you piece of shit. That's just such a tired criticism of Red Delicious apples.
Mealy.
Are they not red? Are they not delicious? They are crisp. They're refreshing. No. They have a good bite to them. They're fucking great.
Justin Maine, there was a whole thread about the apples on the website. He says the source, Maddox is referring to, the source is his ass. I literally sell apples for a living.
Yeah.
Unnecessary, literally.
Yeah.
You could have just said I sell apples. I don't figuratively sell apples for a living.
Do you metaphorically sell apples? No, literally.
Oh, yep. I guess maybe that's true. My grandma, we told her that my brother-in-law worked for Apple.
Yeah.
And she thought that he sold like crates of apples. She's like, oh, good for him. He's got a job. Like, can he get us a deal on apples? Anyway. For a living, and Red Delicious still sucks balls. Gala, Macoun, and Pinata are where it's at. So there's some apple tips for you.
I've had a Pinata apple. Actually, Pinata's not bad. I like a Pinata apple. Pinata's very, it's very similar to what are those? Oh, the Jazz apples. They have like those Jazz apples. Pink Lady, Yellow Delicious, Granny Smith. My favorite are Rome. Talk about it.
Wait, you're gonna lump Granny Smith in with those other ones you just said?
Stop with the
just anything
apple.
like that.
Well, I know, but the look,
hipster apples.
They're the hipster apples, man.
Anything that I don't like is a hipster apple.
No, it's not. It's all marketing, Sean. You're such a sucker.
I'm a sucker for liking certain things.
Apple companies, it's a consortium, and they only decide which apple to promote. And then suddenly, Chris for $2.99 pound. Get fucked. Get out of here.
It's Big Apple.
$2.99 it's Big Apple.
Meanwhile, there's 10 other varietals of apple that I can pick that are cheap, but I just don't happen to like the taste, so I'm wrong.
Have you tried old apples? This dickhead who sells apples. Get right. He doesn't eat that shit. It's
That's
like
his thing. That's his business.
Yeah, but he doesn't eat that. I guarantee he doesn't eat that.
You know this is repeated. It's the most delicious. Right?
Great. You know what? These fuckers, like they have written off Red Delicious because a long time ago, it was really cool they hit on Red Delicious apples. It's real fucking cool.
It was never cool to hate on Red Delicious.
People hate Red Delicious, man. They hate it because it's so cool to make fun of Red Delicious. It's not. Okay, you're not cool, and Red Delicious is cool. It's a good apple. I'll defend Red Delicious in my
I don't want to hear you ever talking about any homophobic apple ever again. Apple to fruit, whatever apple to recording label. I don't want to hear your opinion on that.
What if, Dick? What if we fall in love and I want to tell you someday that you're the apple?
If you believe that I love you, if I'm saying that, you have to decide
Okay. Okay, Dick, I got a comment from Angel Dorito. So, it's spelled with one R though, so it might be Dorito or some silly variant. Anyway, he was defending me because a lot of people were jumping down my throat last episode.
Wait, can I play the voicemails for all the people jumping down your throat
right,
first?
let's hear it. I want to hear all these idiots.
Hey Max, do you know what is a theory? This is the fucking shit they teach you in like the first year of your goddamn college, dude.
Fucking idiot.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's not that hard to understand. There's no such thing as a fucking proof in science.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, you're fucking stupid. Dick, you're pretty alright, dude. You seem pretty reasonable.
Thanks. Just don't take my legal advice, I guess.
Or any advice. Look,
I got
listen to you
6
fucking
more.
dirt. Oh, let's hear it. I'll just stack them. Let's just hear them. Get them all out. Get them all out. Let's hear these fucking more.
Max, I'm going to ask you. So you're telling me a theory is when they can be disproved?
Naughty.
Are you like legit stupid or something? A scientific theory is when it's been widely accepted. Like the theory of evolution.
Yeah.
Theory of gravity.
Yeah.
Something like that. You're dumb.
Oh, really? Great argument. How about try forming one with a premise and a conclusion, you shit cock?
Well, this guy might know what he's talking about.
Great.
This one.
Hey guys, this is Charles Darwin here.
He's an expert.
Darwin, wow.
You guys seem to be kind of confused about how evolution is. So that's what I want to tell you. Selective breeding is not actually not evolution. It is both evolution and selective breeding. Selective breeding is just a subset. Go fuck yourself, Dick.
I got one more.
Yeah. Let's hear all these dopes.
I'm a pathogenic bacteria, and this is how I talk. Maddox, you called the first law of thermodynamics an unproven theory?
I didn't
It's
say
been
that.
tested and scrutinized both
conservation of
scientifically and
mass energy.
mathematically countless times. Never once has it been disproven. I don't have a central nervous system, and even I know that. But I guess that's to be expected from a guy who calls plugging his dick hole a science experiment.
It was
That's
a
true,
science
you did say
experiment.
that.
It was. I was trying to see if I could piss like a hose out of my penis for the benefit of humanity. I get nothing but disrespect.
So what did Angel Doritos say in your defense?
You know what? Hold your horses. Hold your horses. All these dickheads, these cocksuckers. Oh, man, actually, nothing is scientifically proven. It's all theory. Yeah. No, it's not, dipshit. Hey, have you guys ever heard of fucking math? Huh? Mathematical proofs? There are mathematical proofs that correlate to the observations that you make. The scientific method is you notice a phenomenon, right?
I know this is
you
getting
observe
good.
it. You observe a phenomenon. Then you make a theory about it, right? Why it's occurring or how it's occurring.
Hypothesis.
Yes. And then you test your hypothesis.
Right.
You analyze the data, and then reformulate your hypothesis and keep doing that in the loop until you find the solution. You find the answer. You find whatever
Until
it
it
is.
becomes a theory.
Yeah, until it becomes a thing. But a law is stronger than a theory. A scientific law, yes, it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it fucking is. Google it, shithead. Google it right now.
Well, they're different because the law is something that you observe and you never don't observe, and whether it has a theory to explain why it happens or not, the law is something that just exists. A law is something that the theory is something that we made up. A law is something that's just absolute in nature.
Dick, you have elucidated nothing, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
What do you mean? You can't rank them. They're different.
No, but it's not a universal. It's not a law of nature. It only is insofar as we haven't found a counterexample, and we have no mathematical proof for it.
Well,
Here, let me read this comment by Angel Dorito. He says, so he's replying to someone named Zach who made a very silly, childish, immature, low ball, low blow,
Low brow.
shitty, low brow, all the
Toilet
lows,
humor.
toilet humor,
Juvenile, sophomoric.
yeah,
Embarrassing, really.
imbecile,
Uneducated,
dumb,
low intellect, unsophisticated,
uneducated,
Philistine.
pseudo-intellectual, anti-intellectual argument against me. These are all these people, right? So he's saying, Zach, shut the fuck up. I'm a physicist.
Uh-oh.
So why won't your slow, fedora-wearing, retarded ass take your own advice and look up shit?
Physicist talks?
That's how a physicist talks, yeah.
Oh, Trump's really lowered the bar.
So he says, anyway, scientific laws are different from mathematical laws in the sense that there isn't necessarily proof for them. I know your dense Pillsbury-bred boy-looking dumbass doesn't understand very well what proof means, so I'll explain it. For those of us that are real scientists and have taken classes in logic and mathematical proofs, aka me, that's me, I'm just saying that, me, Maddox, I'm saying that.
Oh.
Yeah. But he says, for those of us, but this is him again.
What about a way stronger letter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought your fans usually talk differently. That's why I'm having a hard time.
No, this
following.
guy, I'm just doing the voice that naturally, like, it correlates to the words on the page. This is the voice. For those of us that are real scientists and have taken classes in logic and mathematical proofs, the word proof doesn't mean just any correlating evidence, fuckface.
Oh my God.
I added the fuckface part.
Yeah.
A proof is the demonstration that a claim of theorem follows analytically from definition from the more fundamental axioms of a logical system.
Oh, man.
That sounds like a mouthful, but listen, but hear me out. Here, he goes on.
No, keep going. I'm getting really hard.
Good. Scientific laws have not necessarily demonstrated to follow analytically from anything. At times, they can be considered axiomatic themselves. They are the result of repeated observation regarding an abstract proposition that has been generalized inductively. And that's exactly the scientific theory that I just described, isn't it, shithead? The scientific method. While the scientific law... Shut up. While the scientific law may not be the same as the larger scientific theory, the matter of the fact is that the scientific law is a theoretical construct.
Is when I tap the head.
You're such a fucking dick. Stop being an asshole and listen. Pay attention. Well, write this down. Write this down, Dick. You might learn something for the first time in your life. Write down everything I say from now on. Remember Newton's laws that paved the way for all of modern science? Huh? Well, those have since been rendered false by more sophisticated theories, yet they're still virtually true in most applications. They are of practical value. Guess what? The law of conservation of mass was rendered false too when special relativity was developed.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. There's no conservation of mass in modern physics. There's only conservation of energy under qualified conditions. We still use the term law of conservation of mass for practical reasons.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking... It's only a law insofar as that, it holds true for a whole bunch of experiments, but there's there's no mathematical proof behind it.
Yeah, that's... Okay.
But Einstein's
while he was writing that paper, how many black holes burned down while this physicist was off of his test tubes?
Yeah. Einstein's theory of relativity does have a mathematical proof behind it. In fact, he discovered mathematically first, before he discovered any observational things were tested. They couldn't test satellites going around Venus to test the clock on it. They couldn't test gravitational lensing and all these things. Those came after the fact. Einstein discovered most of it through mathematics alone, and that's why it's such a solid theory.
Why do you let these guys get to you so much?
They're such assholes. They're such dickheads. Morons.
You don't have to prove yourself to them. You know what you're talking about.
Shitheads.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Let's get to some real problems.
All right, Dick.
I know you got a good one this week.
I got a good one, Dick, this week. Because usually before the show starts, we just tell each other what we're going to discuss.
Yeah, to make sure that we don't both bring in the same problem.
Yeah, generally. And I know you didn't bring in this problem. It's a big one, Dick. I've been waiting a long time to bring this one in. Yeah. Libertarian theory. That's a good groan from Sean.
Yeah, because nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, no one wants to hear it, including me. I don't want to hear that shit anymore.
What's your problem with people just wanting you to have more freedom? What is your problem with that?
More
so
freedom.
What if we also want to wear cool hats?
Okay. Yeah, libertarians wouldn't know the first thing about freedom.
And Ayn Rand.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't know the first thing about freedom. There's this meme. I want to read this meme on the that's been floating around on the internet first. It shows a picture of a cat. It says,
well, you know it's got good advice then.
Yeah, it's just
Hang in there, baby.
It's a funny analog. It's a funny analog. Listen to this. It's a picture of a cat looking up, like this little cat. I'm showing this picture. I'll post it on the website. It says, all cats are libertarians, completely dependent on others, but fully convinced of their own independence. That's a fucking libertarian in a nutshell. Here, bravo, Maddox. Yeah, that's a good argument.
Are you saying because like we drive on public roads and live in a society that's based on like a republic?
Actually, exactly that, Dick.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to be.
Yeah.
That's how the system is.
Yeah. I didn't have a choice.
Dick, last episode about the whole Kim Davis thing.
God.
You
Don't even say it. Let's have a ban on saying the name on the podcast.
Well, that's fine. That's fine, Dick. There's a bit I haven't played in a long time.
Doesn't know. Dick.
Yeah, Dick doesn't know Dick.
Full of shit.
Full of shit. Yeah, that's you. You're full of shit. Because here's what you said last episode about the whole Kim Davis controversy, and that was the woman in Kentucky who was grandstanding and not signing documents allowed like they could. Yeah, I know. And then here's what you said.
There is a law saying you have to make concessions for people's beliefs a little bit. You have to try.
Yeah. And they did. They did try.
I don't think they
yes,
did.
Yes, they did.
No, here's why.
Okay. And then you went on, and I said that she was grandstanding. You said, no, I don't think they did. You said it now, and you said it then. Here's what actually happened.
In fact, the judge did give Davis a second chance to comply. When 5 deputy clerks agreed to begin approving marriage licenses Friday, Davis had to agree not to interfere. When she refused, the judge ordered federal marshals to take her to jail.
Yeah. They gave her a chance.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I don't want to talk about Kim Davis anymore. Like, people fucking hate it.
Oh, that's fine. But the point remains, the judge did give her a chance.
I'll acquiesce the point just to not talk about it. Like, it's so much, it's overload. It's overload.
Okay, good, Dick. So back on to...
Oh, good.
Well, because it's part of the whole libertarian construct. Like, oh, the big bad federal government is coming in telling me what to do. They can't tell me to go to bed.
Well,
that's all it is. That's all it is.
Tocqueville said, democracy in America will last until the government figures out that it can bribe the public for its votes. How does you think that he's an idiot? I don't
know that quote. I don't know who wrote it. Who are you quoting there?
Tocqueville. He's like a scholar.
Yeah,
in the beginning stages of American democracy. Came over here to okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think the idea is sound.
Yeah.
That the government can bribe people by giving them free shit. You don't think that's true? You don't think the idea of that is true and possibly scary?
I think it's possible that the government could bribe people for things. In fact, I just talked to a Filipino a couple about this is
as a pet. What do you mean? What do you and Sean mean?
Oh, perfect. Bravo. Ass. I have a website that has a bunch of libertarian principles on it.
Okay.
I think it's authoritative.
Let's go.
It's Libertarian Party.
Child pornography should be legal.
Right. LP.org. LP.org. The website has this big banner at the top that says the Party of Principle.
Yeah.
And then it says minimum government, maximum freedom.
I support that. I support that.
See, the problem is, Dick, you and all the other libertarian shitheads in the comments, like, oh, every time you're like, what's wrong with smaller government?
Man, they really got me last week with that science shit.
Hey, Maddox, what's wrong with smaller government? The problem is that any time you define a government to be a certain size, some shithead's gonna come along and be like, well, that government's too big, we should make it smaller.
Yeah, but that's okay.
How do you define it, though? No, libertarians are not self-consistent. You can't define what a small government is.
They feel like now it should be less. Now there should be less government. That's what they think. What's wrong with that?
They always think that. And
they always think that since when?
I am skeptical. I am suspicious of any political party who claims to want smaller government and yet is still running for government. Okay, you guys are the ones going to fix this problem? Sure, let's see how you do it, shithead.
Well, what, should they do like ISIS and just start blowing shit up until they do what we want? You gotta run and get in there to change the system.
Yeah.
You can dismantle pieces of the government from inside.
Sure. You gotta fuck for virginity, right? That's exactly what that is.
No, it's about like ending wasteful programs.
Yeah.
And programs that don't work.
Of course. Because
what do you mean, of course? Like the drug war, the war on terror, the many, many wars that are spanning the face of the earth. Yeah. Republicans didn't end them, Democrats didn't end them, put a libertarian in. They'll end the wars.
Republicans, for the most part, started them. The two biggest wars that America has ever been in, Iraq and Afghanistan. 14 years now we've been in Afghanistan. Republicans started, and the Republicans are more closer to libertarian ideology than liberals or independents or even socialists.
Thank you. That's true.
So they started that. They started the war on drugs. Ronald Reagan, conservative sweetheart. Conservative
he's not
darling.
Libertarian, though.
Yeah, but his principles are often
you think he's a libertarian?
By libertarians. No, he's not.
I don't think Ronald Reagan's
Ronald Reagan was, I would say, in my estimation, a pretty decent conservative. Like as far as conservatives goes, he's probably one of the best.
Yeah.
He's not perfect, and he obviously made really big fucked up mistakes, like the war on drugs.
Yeah. The war on drugs, sure.
Yeah, he made mistakes. But anyway, man, back to. I want to say something that I disagree with a lot of Obama's politics. something he said when he was first elected in office was he said that it's not the size of the government that matters. It's whether or not the government runs efficiently and works efficiently. And I couldn't agree more, because the same thing could be said of corporations and any large organization, charities, any large organization.
It's price stocks that only go up. That's
No.
what he's saying. Make sure the government always works and works well. Like, yeah, okay, but it never has.
No, that's not true, Dick. Because right now
You've
it's
been
more
to DMV?
right. Yeah, but DMV is the constant example that you always give. But
Post office?
libraries work fine. The post office is not a full
Libraries
government
work
organization.
fine.
Yeah, libraries are great.
Why the hell do they even exist?
Because people like to read, Dick. Look
you need
into it.
books. You need a bunch of dumb books sitting in a warehouse, sitting on prime real estate.
Well,
and jack-off machines for homeless people.
Maybe in
I don't need that. Why am I paying for that?
Yeah, well, some of us do reading and research, and we go to libraries.
Let me
sometimes.
ask you this: how's this for a libertarian principle? When I pay health insurance, I shouldn't have to pay for maternity shit as a single man.
Okay, that's exactly libertarian. That's a perfect libertarian philosophy.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't use it, so not me. But the problem is, Dick, there are certain services and there are certain programs that society can benefit from at large that no one person or institution or organization is tasked with creating, or even can create.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, but before I get ahead of
go
myself,
through your list.
I want to say something. I brought in 2 problems this week.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going to mention my second
The
problem
second
now...
one better not be me.
No. The reason I want to mention it now, Dick, is because it's basically the same problem. It's a problem that is a perfect example of the problem with libertarian theory. And I'm not going to say libertarians or libertarianism, because no libertarian government has ever existed. No proper working libertarian government.
Yeah, but it's an idea.
The closest thing is like, what, Ethiopia or something
But
like
there's
that.
not, like, Democrats, Republicans aren't clearly defined.
Hold on,
Party
let-
changes over years.
Let me tell you what the second problem is.
Okay.
Homeowners associations.
Yeah, they're a bit. I hate them.
Yeah.
They're a big problem.
Homeowners
I hate them because they
associations.
fucking nail me with huge fees. I think they're unnecessary.
Shit, Dick wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, homeowners association, Dick, is the perfect example.
For everybody who doesn't know, it's the governing body of a local neighborhood that charges you and sets up a bunch of rules and regulations on how you can manage your own house. Like, you have to do your yard, you can't paint your house pink, shit like that. Sometimes they charge very little. Sometimes they charge $110 a year. Sometimes they charge an outrageous amount. Like, if they're running a fucking golf course.
They are a nightmare. I loathe homeowners associations. They are a perfect example of a microcosm of government. Out of fucking control. A tiny little government that is completely self-regulated and self-enclosed, and all they fucking do is get in your business.
Sure.
That's a homeowners association.
They're the worst.
That's a libertarian government.
No,
a
no,
tiny,
no.
small government. That's all it is.
Why
What's
do
the
you
difference?
think that?
You want small government? A homeowners association is a perfect
you
example
don't
of
know
that.
what is a libertarian. If you think an HOA is what libertarians want.
That's a perfect example of it.
No. Okay, first of all, I don't like homeowners associations, but if they exist, I want them to be extremely small. You know what I'm saying?
Because those are good. I lived in a small one, and they were still shitheads.
Well, then dismantle it. Like, in my ideal world, I want no homeowners association.
Right.
Like, a libertarian does not want a homeowners association.
But
that's very important that you realize that.
Well,
that's
fine.
not a libertarian government.
Well, you say that, but that's a perfect example of a libertarian government.
No,
because
it is not.
Then tell me. Wait,
oh, you're gonna get raped in the comments this week for that.
I'm gonna let them just have at it.
Yeah,
Because
no,
that's not. It's
look,
exactly
it's not worth
the
it.
opposite.
I feel like generally Sean is a voice of reason sometimes. Sean, I want to know why you think it's not.
Because a libertarian would not want a government at all.
I know what a libertarian. But Sean, can you agree that what a libertarian says they want and what a libertarian ideal is 2 different things? They say they don't want any kind of government.
No, you're putting
like
him
that.
on the spot, asking him these trick questions.
That's not a trick question. Answer the question, Sean. Do you think that that's different? What they say they want and what it is. Like a small government.
What do you mean what they say they want versus what it is?
They say they want more liberties, but a homeowners association imposes fines and their will on every aspect of your
That's
life.
not a libertarian government. Yeah, that's.
But it's a small government, isn't it?
They don't want small government that's in your backyard.
Small in relation to what? It has like
exactly.
Say like
That's not exactly.
No.
Yeah.
You're talking about a small government because it only
Has
wards over 100 houses.
Right, that's a small government.
No, it's not a small government. If they have a major impact in your life, then that's a huge government.
Okay. Okay, so by
Less
definition,
interference.
It's a
less
interference.
interference.
Oh,
More
I see.
freedom.
I see.
Less interference in your life.
So you
let
could
you
have-
do what you want to do.
Because most homeowners associations, like for, I lived in an apartment complex with, I think, 90 different tenants, and there was a homeowners association made up of 8 people, made everyone's lives a living hell. Do you think it would have been better if they, say, I don't know, had 100 people on the homeowners
No, I
association?
think that you should have. First of all, you didn't own the condo, so your opinion is totally worthless in this scenario.
Doesn't matter, I live there.
But you don't have any rights.
Right.
It's their community. If you own a condo there,
Yeah.
you've got to run for the board.
Mm.
I mean, that's what, if your homeowners association fucks with you too much, you run for the board. My father did this, and you try to fix it from the
Yeah.
inside. But libertarians want as little intervention from a homeowners association as possible.
So
If
you
they
would
have
say-
to do landscaping, collect fees for the landscaping, and then give all the money back. That's it.
Well, I have this clip from the Mercatus Center. And Mercatus Center is a libertarian think tank. They have this YouTube video. There's this website. It is it is freedomin50states.org, and every year they rank.
Sounds like a crazy site.
It's a libertarian website. They rank the
Wow.
most free states, right? The most free states in the
Okay,
United
yeah.
States. Here's this YouTube video they came out with. Listen to
All
this.
right.
Every 2 years, all 50 states convene to compete for the title of Most Free State.
Oh,
the winner
God,
will
yeah.
receive more residents, fewer burdensome rules that slow growth, and fewer nanny state regulations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The winner's going to get more residents living there, fewer nanny state regulations, fewer burdens and regulations that choke growth, right? And here are the
Well,
states
that's a
that
nice
made,
idea.
Yeah, it's a nice idea on paper. And here are the states that made the cut. Here are the states.
New Hampshire is looking especially confident coming off its win in 2011.
I'm wondering how New York will do. They don't look too good.
And then on this
This is a really bad video.
And then the video of New York, it shows New York anchored with all these like literal anchors,
Yeah.
and then they have all these little tags on it that say regulation and nanny state and all this other shit, right? So here are the states that actually made the cut.
So ready to kick off at the Fiscal Policy Swing. And they're off. Low taxes are giving South Dakota a
Oh, my
lead,
God.
followed by Tennessee. Vermont, New Jersey, and Hawaii are way behind, weighed down by taxation and debt.
Oh, I couldn't New York like that out there.
Oh, do you hear that last part? Oh, New York's gonna drown out there. Yeah, New York is choking with taxation and debt. You know, New York, they're really struggling. That shit economy, New York. Let's talk about New Hampshire
New York
and
City went
Tennessee.
bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still making. I mean, they gross more than all these states combined, John.
Yeah, but they're also like a major.
There's 9
port
million
city.
people in Manhattan.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a real shitty place to live if 9 million people want to live there. Here,
It's
let's
been
go on.
shitty to live there before.
Well, let's finish this.
I'm ready to race today.
South Dakota is out of the water and onto the regulatory wall climb. Wow, Indiana and Delaware are rocketing up the wall. West Virginia's liability system and New Jersey's abuse of property rights are leaving them stuck in molasses.
There's New York again. I think their back's gonna give out.
Oh, New York. Ugh. Stupid.
It is a stupid video.
Yeah, it's a stupid video. And here's the
There's
the
probably
top
videos
10.
like that for all sides.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, you say that like there isn't, but there probably is.
I mean, yeah, but this is
You
one
want
of,
to bring
this
in
is one
a
of the top
video
videos.
games unboxing and see how lame that sounds?
No.
Oh, yeah, we got through Dark Souls 2 today. It was a great game, but let's see what the graphics say.
Yeah. No. So this is the according to libertarian think tank.
Well, what was the problem with that? Oh, you're getting to that.
Yeah,
right
let
now.
me
Okay.
read the these are the top 10 states that are the most free.
I know why you didn't tell me what the problem was now, because then I would have prepared something about libertarianism.
Yeah.
And now I'm sandbagged.
You should already know.
I'm
You're a hardcore
still
libertarian.
reeling from his absolutely retarded take on HOA and being small government and using that as an example of what libertarians want.
It's not what
I'm not a
libertarians
libertarian,
want.
but
Yeah.
it's a completely false pretense.
You fucking weasels are impossible to nail to the wall because you're just slippery little fucks. Because anytime I say, this is an example of a small government, how come that? And you're like, no, that's not libertarian because it's shitty.
No,
Every
because
single
it's
time.
invasive.
Yeah, invasive.
It's
Well, here's-
invasive and not representative.
Oh, sure. Well, here are the top 10. Here are the top 10 states.
As a proof that you didn't feel you were represented on yours. Go ahead. Top 50 states.
A libertarian think tank came up with the top 10 most free states. Number 1
Okay.
is North Dakota. Number 2 is South Dakota. Number 3 is Tennessee. Then New Hampshire. Then Oklahoma. Then Idaho. Missouri. Virginia. Georgia. And my very own home state of Utah.
Utah.
Utah, the most free fuck you. And by the way, these regulations that are supposedly crippling the economy and choking growth and choking economic activity, are any of these states known for anything? They're known for jack shit. They're not powerhouses. They're not powerhouses of economic activity. Yeah. North Dakota, South Dakota, Tennessee. What the fuck comes out of Tennessee? Except for babes. No, but seriously, nothing
good
comes
country
out.
music.
Idaho made the fucking
potatoes.
list.
Come on,
Utah.
Those are the most free potatoes ever.
People want to live on the coast.
Yeah.
That's why you vote.
Oh,
that's exactly why.
Oh, so
you can't say like it's stupid.
Yeah, people live with their families.
But also Chicago's not on the coast. Chicago's one of the biggest cities in the U.S. San Francisco, that's on the coast.
Big shipping port.
Yeah, but
people
anyway.
want to live in big cities.
Yeah.
What is your problem? That's where commerce happens.
Sure. Not and these big cities, these libertarians are saying that regulation cripples the economy, right? Yeah, and these are the least free states. Here's what pisses me off about you libertarians, okay? You guys, you slippery fucks, because
don't lump me in with libertarians.
I'm looking at Dick over here. I lived in a state that is libertarian leaning, one of the most conservative states in the union. Utah.
Libertarian leaning? What do you mean libertarian leaning?
They're so fucking conservative. Like
that doesn't mean libertarian.
Well, hold on. Outside of conservatives, libertarians are like the next biggest thing in Utah and Montana. Like it's all libertarians. Here's some rules and regulations. This most free list, right? That this libertarian think tank. Here are things you can't do in Utah. Let me just refresh your memory. Can't buy alcohol freely. Alcohol is limited to 3.2%. Drinks in restaurants have to be made behind a Zion curtain, so outside of the view of other potential customers.
Yeah, but those are hardcore conservatives who want to legislate morality.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me say this. Hold on.
This is the most
free. Let me say this.
Yeah.
You're proving the libertarian philosophy by simply moving out of Utah. In moving out of Utah, you took you and your business to a place that had better laws, proving their philosophy that if you let states be autonomous, people will vote with their feet. And a better system of government will prevail.
Great.
You took money out of Utah because of their morality shit. Over time, the idea is that they'll learn. They'll be weaker.
It's not just that. You can't buy liquor in grocery stores. They won't admit anyone into a bar after 1 a.m. You couldn't order alcohol before food until 2013. Until 2013, if you go to a restaurant, you order a beer, you have to order food first, and it has to come to your table before you get your beer. Adult stores are highly regulated. Porn is censored. Vaginas and penises are digitized. Drugs are strictly prohibited. There's no prostitution. Fireworks are restricted. It's strongly anti-gay marriage. That's exactly the argument you were making last time, Dick. You said, well, marriage should go to the states. Well, here's the thing, bozo.
The argument I was making was that it should go to people.
Oh, the people out of the state then, right?
No,
so what's the difference?
Because it's their personhood. Like, people have the ability to make contracts.
Sure, but you have to be able to recognize it, right? If you can't just, like, you and I can make a contract
we have a legal system.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you need government. That's why you need government to enforce it. Because if some goofy state,
feel like you're
finish.
Okay.
If some goofy state like Kentucky passes a law that says, well, we don't recognize gay marriage, and let's say libertarian Dick Masterson comes along and goes, that's a good law because you should be able to believe what you want.
It's a good law.
Oh, hold on. You should be able to.
Well, don't tell me I think it's a good law that gay people should get married.
This is a
hypothetical. Then don't use my fucking name.
Okay. But you did say
every argument. Well, this is what they believe. And that's what it's like. No, this is not
what they believe.
But you did say that it should go to the states. You said that.
I said that I would prefer states over the federal government to make the call. Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. If a state is say like 10 out of the 50 states recognize. Let me finish this. If 10 out of the 50 states recognize gay marriage, and you get married in one of these states, and then your job transfers you to a state that doesn't recognize gay marriage, what then?
Well, then it's not recognized anymore.
Oh, so it's a goofy. So then what, Dick? How do you solve this problem?
I don't know. What do you mean? Then what? Then what happened? Like it existed for a while where a small number of states had gay marriage. Then the world changed. Like, what do you want me to say? Then what?
Yeah. Well,
what do you mean? Then what? Like, how would you want me to answer that?
Well, that was the past. All I hear is less regulation, less intrusion into people's lives. Yeah. Less restrictions, less everything, smaller government, but no solutions. Give me a solution to that problem.
Stop the war. Stop the gay marriage one.
Yeah.
Stop regulating it. Stop regulating marriage. Stop regulating
contracts people are getting into personally. Stop regulating it. It's none of your fucking business.
Less regulation. Like, the energy should be deregulated, right?
Energy?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I have no idea what you think you mean by that. What do you mean energy should be deregulated?
I love getting into this argument. Every libertarian I've ever talked to...
It's a sandbag.
Let me finish, dude. Let me finish. Every libertarian I've ever talked to loves the energy deregulation idea. They love that energy should be a free market and it should be deregulated and companies should be able to do whatever they want.
I don't know what half of that means.
What do you think it means?
That companies should be able to do whatever they want?
Yeah, no
I have no idea.
No government oversight.
Of energy?
Yeah.
Well, that seems pretty infeasible because it's a gigantic public good. Do you know a lot of libertarians who are holding parades for let companies do whatever they want with energy?
No. I know a lot of libertarians who are saying goofy things like energy should be deregulated. But you know what happens when energy does get deregulated, Dick? These shifty fuckers like Enron come along. And they start doing backdoor deals
Illegal
and shady operations, illegal things.
Yeah.
That's why these
In
regulations
collusion with the government, though.
That's why the government literally deregulated the energy markets, and that's why Enron became a big problem.
Look, it works for the phone companies. They got
phone companies are great.
deregulated.
I fucking love my cell phone. Name one fucking good cell phone company.
Do you remember how expensive it used to be to make long distance calls because they had a big old regulated monopoly?
It's more expensive now. I'm paying more for my phone bill now than when I had a landline, even with long distance calls. I'm paying more for my fucking phone because the phone companies view your data as different than voice. Voice and data are going over the same fucking stream, yet somehow you have to pay for data and you have to pay for voice.
And you think you're paying more for this than back when modems went bing bong, bing bong? You remember the phone bills people would get then?
I paid like $40 a month flat, period. And that was it. And I used all the data I wanted to. There was no data cap. Now I have to pay for internet. Now I have to pay. Are you really arguing that cell phone companies are a great model of deregulation?
No, cell phone companies are not what was deregulated. It was the phone lines. There weren't cell phones back then.
Yeah.
It was just it was distance lines because the lines were already in. So like we all paid to put the lines in, and then we're like, okay, you get a certain amount of time to make your money back to run this. And they said, oh, that's not really fair anymore. Now you got to compete. Everybody cut it up, cut all the companies up. Now you guys got to compete with each other to supply cheaper long distance rates. Like it's got to work out like a fair market.
Right.
Which is a libertarian thing. Like, sometimes it's better to make things competitive.
When do you think that regulation is good, Dick?
That is such a retarded question.
No, it's not. What's wrong with that question? Answer the question. When do you think regulation is good?
This is a Senate committee
Slippery
hearing.
Fuck, you can't nail them down. You can't nail them down.
I love
Answer the question.
I love that it takes 3 words for you to start grandstanding again. Like, you are totally grandstanding like a senator. Like, you're showing off for everybody because you have this assumption of what being a libertarian is. When is regulation good? Fuck, I don't know. When it's a public utility like a road, like it works then a lot of the times. Sometimes toll roads work. Sometimes toll roads are doing great. Sometimes it's good to not have a public utility regulated. Lighthouses get built. Sometimes it's good to make the people who stand to profit the most put in the money to build it. Like, I would love if, I don't know, Walmart contributed more to the national interstate highway system than the rest of us because they're using it to sell cheap shit.
Oh. Like, so do you think that there should be some regulation, say, if there was a public asset or public good, that a public resource, let's say, like fuel.
Fuel's not a public resource.
Fuel is a finite resource. Fuel is a finite, limited resource. Right?
Yeah, but see now, this is a great example of where I'm like, I don't agree with that.
Okay. Well, okay, why not, Dick? You just said that Walmart should pay more because they're using it more. So couldn't you apply that same logic to fuel and say that people who drive Hummers should pay more? People should pay a Hummer tax. And people,
well, they
and
do.
Then we should start,
There's a gas tax. If you use more gas, you pay more of the gas tax.
No,
it's
but
very simple.
No, but they can just buy as much as they want.
Well, yeah, that's called a free market. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it all shakes out because everybody pays the same amount of tax on the fuel.
Well, isn't Walmart then paying into the system just like anyone else, use it or not? In fact, people who don't use it at all, cyclists, for example, who aren't using the road nearly as much as cars, are still paying tax to maintain it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you want? Well, ask me if it's fair or if it should be regulated. It's a public road. It's gotta be regulated. It can't be anybody paving roads anywhere they want.
But they do. They make toll roads everywhere, dude. Isn't that a libertarian fantasy?
No, it's a very in-depth process to get a toll road approved. It's not a free market for roads spanning across America.
So you think it's good that toll roads exist? Or excuse me,
they're working.
That's not what I meant to ask. You think it's good that government exists to make roads and that sort of like public utilities and public things?
That's what it should be for. That's all they should do.
Okay.
What do you mean? Oh, okay, like a smug asshole. Like you think, like you're not catching libertarians on any of this shit.
That's because I can't.
Everybody
you guys are
thinks.
slippery.
No, Maddox, because you don't understand what is a libertarian. A libertarian would say, look, drugs aren't hurting anybody. Just let people do it. Like that's what the libertarian philosophy is. If you're not harming anyone else, you get to do it. If everybody in LA gets together and says we want a bunch of freeways, like you guys go ahead and figure it out, but don't make people in Nebraska pay for it because they don't need a bunch of fucking freeways. Like in LA, it makes sense for everybody to put in more for freeways. Fine. Making that a federal thing, everybody has to pay this percentage of their income tax for freeways doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you what doesn't make sense, Dick, is when you have a bunch of states that decide that they don't want to fund the military anymore. And they pass legislation, they say, you know what, no more of our tax money's going to the military because we're not going to use it.
I'd be for that.
Oh, great. And then next thing you know, the military is completely defunded or defunded to the point where they're crippled. And then our national security's impacted. Well, it would be nice if some government came in and said, no, you have to pay taxes whether you agree with it or not because this is generally good for our national security, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not saying
9/11, 9/11. You forgot that.
What about
You forgot just repeating 9/11 because this is fear-mongering.
Well, no, I totally agree. I totally agree that 9/11 was handled poorly.
No, because God forbid that we don't have a shitload of war all the time.
Well,
right. God forbid that some states would want to reduce the amount of money we're paying into a gigantic fucking complex that just goes around and kills people with baseball cards.
So then,
God forbid.
That's fine. I agree with that. But then who decides what's worthy cause and what's not?
The
states,
libertarians? People.
Oh, the states.
People decide.
Oh.
Like, people are smart. When they get together in groups, they can make these decisions. They don't need it made for them.
Oh.
They don't need it made for them by people who are offering them free shit for the opportunity to do so.
Dick, there's definitely problems with our government because they are coerced by lobbyists and special interest groups, for sure. But also, government can be functional, and there are lots of successful government programs.
Any libertarian would admit that. Any libertarian would admit that. They're not anarchists.
So it's
That's
clear.
the fundamental difference you do not understand.
Well, I want any slippery fuck libertarian to tell me what size of government we can live by and what.
But it's different for everybody.
Exactly
Every city and every state.
That's
they should decide how big they want their government to be.
Like a homeowners association. Clearly I don't understand. Look,
clearly
I don't understand.
You don't understand anything about this.
I don't understand anything. So I actually brought in the Libertarian Party principles.
Okay.
Right? And I have a song to play for this part. Right, here we go. This is from Chris Tanaka Canwell. Yeah, he made that song. I use it on my YouTube videos. But this is the Libertarian Party principles. All right.
You've got what's your most recent YouTube video? Since we're talking about it, let's pitch
my
that.
Cooking video's coming out. Yeah, I did my cooking video. Anyway, it should be out as of this recording. Anyway, Libertarian Party principles. Here we go. As libertarians, we seek a world of liberty, a world in which all individuals are sovereign over their own lives, and no one is forced to sacrifice his or her values for the benefit of others.
Yeah.
We believe that respect for individual rights is essential preconditions for a free and prosperous world, that force and fraud must be banished from human relationships, and that only through freedom can peace and prosperity be realized.
Yeah.
Consequently, we defend each person's right to engage in any activity that is peaceful and honest, and welcome the diversity that freedom brings.
What voice is he doing?
I don't know.
Is that Officer Barb Brady from South Park?
The world we
It's a
seek to
guy
build.
who's about to have a foot shoved up his ass.
The world we seek to build is one where individuals are free to follow their own dreams in their own ways without interference from government or any authoritarian power. Any authoritarian power.
Yeah.
These specific policies are not our goal, however.
Yeah.
Our goal is nothing more nor less than a world set free in our lifetime, and it is to this end that when you take these stands, Libertarian Party, libertarians, LP.org. That's their principles.
I mean, you know, the internet is like a perfect libertarian utopia.
Well, if someone doesn't regulate it, Dick, then corporations can do whatever they want. The only thing trying to get that overturned.
Well,
they're the ones who are fucking it up. It's the government who invented the internet, and it's the government who's saving the internet. It's the only fucking thing that's keeping the internet free is the fucking government, not corporations.
Free from themselves.
Corporations. Oh, you guys pissed me off. Anyway, this line says...
Do you have any good points in there? Because all of this has been dog shit, and you just showing off how much you don't know about what is a libertarian.
Without interference from government or any authoritarian power. Any authoritarian power. Libertarians are just a bunch of crybaby idiots who need their asses wiped, who got told too many times to go to bed by their parents, and now they're growing up, and they have a huge fucking complex where they don't want the government to, quote, steal their money by taxes and steal their money with all these...
the liberty. It's not money. It's the liberty. You know what else libertarians are?
What?
The smartest people in America. The 999 group. The people who are in... It's like Mensa, but it makes Mensa looks like a bunch of retards.
Yeah.
99.9 percentile or percent or whatever it is. Some statistic nerd's gonna bust me on that. Most of them are libertarians.
You know what?
Because they understand the big picture and how important it is to maintain personal liberty. They're the only party that's not trying to bribe you with Christ or free college.
Yeah, I agree, Dick. You know what? If a libertarian is prudent with his money and likes to save $5 on, say, razors, I would... I would totally be on board with
way
that.
over the...
way over the... We'll make it long. I want to hear your problems here.
Today's show is brought to you by Harry's. Please visit harrys.com and use the promo code BIGGESTPROBLEM to save $5 off your first purchase. We're all using Harry's now.
Yeah.
We discussed it before the show, and now we discussed techniques about how to use Harry's. Because it feels, I will say, it feels heavy like a gun. It feels substantial in your hand when you're shaving. It doesn't feel like a plastic piece of garbage that was chromed to make it look cool, right? To try to convince you that you have a big dick. When even though you don't, which is the competitors, right?
Everybody knows that's what a Corvette's for.
Yeah. It feels like metal. You got to change your stroke a little. Man, when you really lay into those face hairs, it does feel good. It feels clean. It feels freshly shorn all day.
It feels like a little lumberjack is going to my little stubble.
It does. It does feel like that. You pay. Let's see. You put in the promo code. Biggest problem to save $5 off your first purchase. It does work. The starter kit is $15. The promo code does work. I mean, obviously, starter kit is $15. That includes a razor, 3 blades, and your choice of shaving cream or foaming shave gel. One of you motherfuckers owes me some cream.
Oh, I got some butter for you.
Okay.
Some shaving
butter. See, this is a perfect libertarian transaction that we're having.
I'm going to send a Harry's kit to my mom. And guys, thanks for tweeting these.
Jesus.
Why? You guys haven't met my mom. Yeah, she did.
What is she gonna say?
All the things.
Where do women have hair, Maddie?
Their upper lip, their lower chin, their underarms, their legs, their overarms, their outer arms, all the arms, their one lady arms, all the moms.
Just in the street. How about that?
You
went to a drugstore and waited 10 minutes for someone to unlock the case for razors. Fuck waiting at the drugstore. Get it delivered to your house.
That drugstore sounds like it's run by the DMV. Fuck that.
Okay.
That libertarian DMV.
Hey, one more time. What's the code?
Biggest problem. Go to harrys.com.
Harrys.com.
Biggest problem.
Biggest problem.
Don't tell me that it doesn't work.
And keep tweeting.
You don't work.
Yeah, you don't work. You scum. You don't work. Yeah, and keep tweeting these at us and at Harry's, guys. It really helps the show. We really appreciate it. And Harry's is, I think, a sponsor for the
like the remainder of the year.
Bravo.
I'm blown away by. It's like being Jesus. Look at all I did. Look at all I did for you, dumbasses, trying to protect your liberties, and you just don't understand what I'm trying to do.
Nail you to the cross, literally, Dick Masterson.
Yes, but make sure you get a good deal on those nails. Thank God that you live in a world where you can shop the price around. You know? You can go to another state and shop that price around.
No, I agree. That's good.
What was the thing about that?
You go to other states and shop around. Deregulation, man.
That's the one he likes.
Yeah. I mean, you realize that. Well, of course you don't realize it.
I don't realize anything, Dick. I'm just a dumb, mouth-breathing...
I think you have something against libertarians because you think it's with them... I think you're libertarian. And I think you think that it's all or nothing.
But you guys can't... I just want one fucking slippery fucking libertarian to tell me the size of government. Tell me how big it should be.
So, it depends on what... Like, okay, don't interrupt me yet. Do you interrupt me, but not yet. You realize that different government institutions run different things around the country, right? Like there's a department that runs national parks, let's say. And there's a department that runs, like the police are a separate kind of government, right? So you can't say what's the size because it's different for everything they're trying to address, right?
Different sizes for different pieces of government.
Yes, and some of them are out of whack with other ones. Like reducing, like giving farmers subsidies to not grow corn. That is a terrible thing.
Oh, you guys are so silly.
You guys are such fucking silly little children.
You don't understand that, though.
Each compartment of government should be small, but then there should be
no dipshit should be smaller than others. Some should be smaller than others.
Oh, so how big should, say, the Department of Agriculture be compared to, say, the Department of Defense?
Smaller. The Foreign Affairs, smaller. We shouldn't be giving all this fucking money to people to bribe them to do things. War, smaller.
So you think an efficient government is one in which it's small?
Look, you reduce it, I'll tell you when to stop. How about that?
Okay.
You start cutting, and I'll tell you when to stop.
But here's the thing, Dick. Here's what you libertarian jackasses don't understand.
Oh, my God.
Is that every time that there is a program that you think should be cut, right, there's going to be a ton of people who disagree, and then every time there's a program that you think that should be stay, there's a ton of people who...